scarred for life, but I'm set for life, and I'm set for life, but I'm scarred for life, and I'm coming at you. I'm fucking crazy. I'm fucking psycho, fucking insane. That's the fucking chorus right there.
You nailed it,
It was
dude. You
good.
nailed it.
Yeah.
You nailed it. And you visually transformed into fucking Joe Rogan there,
You
dude.
did.
You fucking,
Oh, Joe Rogan. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
you did. You visually transformed
That's
yourself into Joe Rogan. It was amazing. Yellow.
Hello.
Oh, that looks delicious. Too close.
Well, feel free to ask me a special question.
I should ask you, what are you drinking?
All right. Thought you'd never ask.
Ah.
Can never
Yeah.
come soon enough.
No, for
I
sure.
want to do the same with you. But first, I'll answer your question, my friend. We're drinking something new today. New recipe.
Me
It
too.
is a mojito.
Oh, nice.
So let me show you. The ingredients.
Let's do some. Close for me. Can you put another?
All right. So
Toaster on there?
pretty psyched to say. So first of all, it's this type of tequila,
Okay.
El Mejor Blanco,
Okay.
which is it's a good tequila. At like $25 a bottle, something like that.
Affordable.
And I'm up to 8 tequilas now in my collection.
Okay.
8. Yeah,
Nice.
psyched. One of which I still have a little bit of the one
yeah,
you got
oh,
me,
yeah.
that Anejo. And then you just mix in this stuff. This you can
yeah.
buy this at Giant Eagle.
Away from
They have margaritas
mix
and mojito, and it's already pre-mixed. These little
Nice.
little cans, you just mix it in, and it's called Neon Zebra. So that has the right amount of mint and the sweetness and the sugar and the azucar and the A and the O and the citrus. So so this is it, and I'm gonna splash just a little bit more lime. I got a little bit of lime in here,
Okay.
lime juice.
I'm having a different drink today as well. I'm taking my Wiggle apple brandy.
What are you drinking? Did you say?
Yes, that's it.
What did you say you're drinking?
I'm taking my Wiggle apple brandy.
Oh, wow.
So it's a nice little locally distilled apple brandy, and mixing it with a little bit of lemongrass tea.
Okay.
From Teas.
Organic teas, very nice.
Yep, organic teas.
Do you get that from Whole Foods?
I actually ordered it off of Amazon. So I don't know where. I know they have a deal with Whole Foods. I don't know if that comes from there or what. But ordered it off of Amazon. And the other night, I was drinking some of the apple brandy, just sipping on it by itself. And I was like, damn, this is a pretty good taste of apple brandy. And then just today, just before I jumped on the stream, I was like, you know what? I bet you that in some lemongrass tea would be a great mix. And early results right now are very positive.
Good choice.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very positive mix here.
Okay, good. This I gotta say, like with this, it's definitely about proportions. I mean, proportions are very important with this. I tried a 2 parts of this, 1 part of the tequila, and I thought it was too much of this, so I added another shot of tequila, and the balance is still not right. And I'm trying to use shot glasses to measure, rather than just kind of go off this. But I also shook it because everything's better shaken. It chills it down so nice if it's cold. But I was actually torn. Like I was like, right before the stream, what I wanted to drink. I didn't know if I wanted tequila or whiskey night. I couldn't quite tell.
What do they recommend on that can? Like, what's their recommended?
Yeah, it's really, I can't read it. Like it's too small. Oh wait, there it is. Half a can with just a shot and a half of. Oh, they're using rum.
Rum, interesting.
Well, but and it makes 2 tasty cocktails. So shot and a half.
So in other words, 3 shots for the whole can.
Okay. Yeah. And
Yeah,
I have like 2 shots, and I only have about a third of the can in here, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. That should balance it out. Now I got about half a can left and 2 shots in here. So let me go give it another shake. I'll be right back.
Alrighty. All right.
Meanwhile, tell me about tell us about your week last week. We haven't seen you in a long time, man.
I know it's been 2 weeks. Or what? Yeah, 2 weeks ago I popped in just following the credits for the post-credit sequence,
That's right.
and then last week couldn't make it at all. Last week was just a fucking one of those weeks that make me thankful that I don't have to work that way every week, like every day.
Yeah.
Like some
'Cause
people, yeah.
There's some people that do, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I had to get up, 3 days last week. I had to get up at 7:30 in the morning to be online for audits and work and stuff. And God, can't just, it's not worth it. Like that is not worth it. I had to do that that would be something that if it was a week to week basis, I would definitely be like, fuck it. I'm quitting and rolling the dice. I'm just gonna start writing, and that's it. Like whatever I can get from selling the short story, that's it. I'll live on disability otherwise. Fuck it. I wouldn't be able to do it.
I don't think anybody would blame me on that one. All right, let's try this out. Yeah, it's pretty good, but like, here's the thing: when I had this in the first time I ever had a mojito was in it was in Los Angeles in Long Beach, and a house party, and they made it with the fresh mint leaves in a blender.
Oh, sorry.
And like it was freaking minty, so minty. And they made it with tequila and fresh limes, and it was delicious.
Sure.
This is not that good because it doesn't have the freshness. Definitely, like that was prime. That set the bar really high for me. So
yeah.
But this is it's a nice, refreshing drink. It's not overly sweet, and it definitely needed some extra lime for the tartness to cut that little bit of sweet. But like I said, you got to get the right blend of the tequila with this, and then the ice waters it down a little bit too. So
yeah.
Very good. All right. So man, yeah. So how many days last week did you have to wake up that early?
3 days. 3 out of 5 days I had to wake up at 7:30 in the morning. Another day I had to wake up at 10 in the morning, which is fine. But
okay.
Yeah,
it's still pretty early. I mean, when you're
for
used
me,
to going to bed at 4.
Yeah, exactly. So I had 4 days of just
less than 6 hours of sleep, basically, or not the greatest sleep, probably.
Yeah. It was shutting. Yeah, I mean, I was laying down at before midnight. I was like, "What the fuck?" I was hitting 10 o'clock at night, and I was going,
"That is not Brian's style."
No, not even a little bit. But so got through that. Then I had another early day yesterday. Not super early, 9:30 in the morning.
What's with all the early shits happening?
I got.
You got to get back to having the West Coast clients.
Yeah. That's true. But last week it was just last week was just. This week was just that I have one client who has a new assistant, and that assistant lives in London, so they're 5 hours ahead of us. So, 3 o'clock our time is already 8 p.m. their time, and they work banker hours, so they're done at 5. Like they're not like, oh yeah, no, I can meet you at 6. Like the latest they can meet you is 1 p.m. your time, because that's 4 p.m. their time, and they're already getting to wrap up then. So I had to meet him at 11:30 in the morning, because that was like 4:30 or 3:30 or something like that his time. I don't remember, but yeah, so it was kind of sucky, but that wasn't too bad. I mean, especially one day this week of waking up at 9:30 in the morning after you have a whole week of waking up at 7:30 in the morning. the 9:30 isn't so bad after a whole week. You're kind of reacclimating back to, okay, I'm getting back to my normal hours. But it was good. It was good to get through it.
Well, glad to see that you made it through, and welcome back to the big room. It wouldn't exist without you.
It's the way it's supposed to be.
We held it down. Last week I had a crazy first part of the week getting lambasted by Lemon Blade about my super ego.
Oh, okay, interesting.
You didn't watch any of the episode?
I
Guess
did not
not.
watch it. No, yeah, I know. I wasn't even on Facebook for multiple days. I was like,
Yeah, that's a crazy week, man. You're not squeezing in too much into that, except eating and trying to get back, having a little downtime before we have to sleep again.
yeah, what was it? Was it last week's show? You mean? Or
Yeah,
I'll have to check it out. It's still up.
I went into a kebab restaurant with Nizam.
Yeah.
And he's been there several times. And Nizam likes to joke around a lot. So he'd been in there like 3 times. And there's like a young girl that works there. So he always likes to joke around, and then he introduces me as like, he's like, she goes, "Oh, is this your guest? This is your friend?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then she goes, and he goes, "Yeah, he's a Redneck. Do you know Redneck?" And I start laughing, and she's like, yes. And he goes, "Yeah, he's a famous redneck singer."
Nice.
And I'm laughing, and she goes, "Oh, singer." She goes, "You sing?" I was like, yeah. And she's like, "And you're famous?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then Nizam goes, "Up in Canada, though." So and so I started playing along. She's like, "Will you sing something?" Because we were there waiting on food, and she's like, and we're the only people in the place, So she's like, "Sing something." So I busted out with Ibrahim.
Right, sure, yeah.
And I do that up to the hey,
Right.
And then I don't, I know the little bit after that, that
Yeah.
the way he changes it up, but then he says,
Yeah.
I don't know what the words are.
Allah, pray for you.
Yeah. So, and I do my best Freddie Mercury, and she's like, "Why?" She's like, she classed, and then she's like, "Do it again." And she gets her camera out, and then Nizam gets his camera out. I do it again, and then right afterwards, I do okay. And now here's the redneck. Here's some country music, and I start, and I just make up some lyrics to like a country song that ends up, I just made some. But anyway, he sees it, and he thinks that I'm mocking. Like, I post that clip on Instagram, and he sees it and flips out, thinking that I'm mocking them.
Mocking
and I'm like,
the people.
"Are you not familiar with the song by Queen?" Like, I don't know if he was or not, but he thought I was mocking him. I'm like, dude, I went in there. It was just this long thing. I don't want to get into it again.
Yeah, right.
Basically, it went on for fucking too long. It went on for like almost 3 days of back and forth with him going, "I don't know if you do not do that in Egypt or you'll get us killed."
Right.
You understand that, right? And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to do it in Egypt. I was like, you weren't there. You didn't see the scenario, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, it was just a hot mess.
Right.
And so, and then he was saying like, I have like a huge ego, and like, he's like, "You're mocking them and all this." I'm like, dude, you're seeing like a little sliver. You're way out of context. And so yeah, that was, we talked about that last show, and TK and Rebecca got my back and said,
Yeah.
and said that my ego wasn't that bad, which I was surprised.
I've always thought that everybody in the big room had a fairly large ego. I do. I think that we all have large egos. I think that but I don't think that they're egos that are out of proportion with.
And they're not malicious
No,
egos.
they're
Like,
not most egos at all.
and I was like, dude, he's like, you know, and he was like saying something about like, I was like, dude, if I had really like, if it was about ego, like meaning egocentric, like all about me, then I wouldn't care about anybody else. And I would probably work in like, I'd have a job in big oil right now, making big bank and destroying the earth. Like, I
Yeah.
don't do that. You know, I'm like, I'm a pretty liberal guy. So I'm like, really don't understand. It's like, I think we have a different definition of what ego is.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I have the wrong definition of, because for me, ego is just how extroverted are we? How willing are we to put ourselves out there? You know, like we don't
I
have
think that's probably maybe what he takes it at. I really don't know it. I never really, but continue.
yeah, because I think we are. I think all of us are willing to put ourselves out there. I don't think that we don't think, oh man, we're embarrassing ourselves, or we're, if we see a moment that we think this is funny, we go ahead and do it. But we also make that calculation of, we're not actually hurting anybody here, right? Like no one's getting
Right. Exactly.
But obviously, sometimes you can. It's impossible on video, but even in person, it's possible to misread a room.
Yeah. True.
It is possible to still do something and have someone react poorly to it, because you don't know what their personalities are either. And it's very possible that you can run into a person where you can do something that is legitimately not meant as any kind of hurtful, in any kind of hurtful way,
Malicious,
but they still
intense,
take it
malice.
negatively, and that's not necessarily on you in that case. There are people who fit the snowflake definition that has been blown out of proportion by all sides, but there are people who fall into the snowflake category that you're just like, oh my god. Have you ever watched South Park?
Right.
Let me guess. You hate South Park, don't you? You know, like if you can't watch South Park, odds are you've got a little snowflake in you. You know, because they will make fun of everything.
They will melt they melt snow. That's what they're in the business of melting snowflakes.
Yeah, you know, and if that's who you are, great. But just acknowledge that we just have to realize, we're not meant to hang out with each other, because, you know,
you got to realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's plenty of people that are very, more introverted, more, maybe if maybe they're too much into like their church or whatever, and they're really trying to be good people, and they just interpret, like they'd rather walk on eggshells than offend anybody. But if you don't offend anybody, then you're probably you're almost like, the only way not to offend somebody in life, it seems, is to be non-existent. Yeah. So there's people that hated Gandhi, you know what I mean, like sent him death threats, like maliciously hated somebody who just preached peace all the time.
No, nobody should want to live in the
people
world
that hated Saint Teresa.
Yeah, you can't outlaw offensive material. You can outlaw dangerous material, you can outlaw dangerous rhetoric, but you can't outlaw offensive. I mean, once you start outlawing once you start dictating to other people what's okay to say and what's offensive and not offensive, then you're on your way to burning Little Red Riding Hood at some point. You're gonna burn that book, because somebody's gonna find it offensive. About, I don't know about that relationship that grandma and granddaughter had. I mean, what was going on there? That seemed kind of, the grandmother saying, "Come, all the better to smell you with." What the fuck does that mean? What a big nose you have! Oh, all the better to smell you with. Why the fuck is the grandma smelling her granddaughter? What's going on there? That's offensive. Burn that shit. Goldilocks and the Three Bears breaking and entering. Burn that down. That's you're encouraging girls to go break into people's houses and sleep in their beds. How's that going to wind up right? Nowhere. So you can't do that. You can't. You don't. It's just that's where America comes in with. No one's forcing you to watch this. No one's forcing you to go see that comedian. If you go and you go, oh, I did not realize it was this kind of show, then you're allowed to leave. You don't have to strike out and try and shut the person down because they're making jokes about something you think's not right. Oh, it's not funny to joke about rape, and no one should be joking about rape. No, you just don't want anybody to joke about rape. I get it. It's probably not the best tasteful thing to do, but you can't outlaw it. As long as you're not encouraging someone, hey, go rape someone down the street. It's it's a tricky line that Americans have set themselves up to try to walk.
True.
But one thing always makes it better, and that's a lot of alcohol.
And then it turns in, or it can turn into a fist fight and make it worse.
Well, yeah, it pushes the envelope. It pushes you past the offensive material straight into physical confrontation, which is a violation of the law. So one way or the other, alcohol solves the problem. One way or the other, my friend.
Well stated, BB Rumble. That is definitely a BB Rumbleism right there.
Right?
Some BB Rumble logic. Logic by BB Rumble.
Existence is pain, Jerry. That's my new t-shirt. I got that t-shirt. I got it delivered the other day.
Nice.
Rick and Morty, Mr. Meeseeks.
Yeah.
Existence is pain. It's one of the best quotes to come out of that show.
Man, hey, it's so good. I need to get back to watching this. I watched a movie last night that I haven't seen in a while. I really remember liking a lot when I saw it in the theater, and then I had to refresh my memory and watch it, and it was like it definitely stood up second time. Such a good movie. Blade Runner 2049.
Oh yeah.
Big fan. I was like, yeah. I got the HBO pack. He mentioned something on HBO last week, and I was like, let me see. It's like a plug-in you can get for Netflix now, or not for Netflix, for Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime, yeah.
So I upgraded and got that, and I watched that. And I also watched a documentary on Muhammad.
Oh, really?
The prophet. Yeah, it's like three or four episodes. And I need to rewatch the third or fourth one because I was falling asleep. So they blended together. It's like, but I watched the first part. The first one I was definitely awake for the first episode, and I figured I'd learn. Got to learn a little bit about that culture, and man, it's just I see this stuff, and they have that thing. It comes back to Mecca, and they have that big square building that everybody walks around. Well, when you watch this is produced by a Muslim, and they freely admit that building existed before Muhammad. And prior to that, it was a pagan, and meaning that there was multiple deities on that big black box that everybody walks in circles around. It's like 5 different gods on that. But, but people would travel there because, so they somehow believe that Abraham put it there. And they freely admit that it brings a lot of revenue to the city of Mecca. And so when young Muhammad was, before he had his when he had his visions and he had a small band of followers, that built up about 200 followers, believing that there's one God. And it's, instead of multiple deities, the city of Mecca wanted to shut him down. Why? Bad for commerce. So then he had so then he does this like night flight that he goes to Jerusalem. But before that, he went to cross the river into what is now Ethiopia, and they were practicing Christianity over there at that time, and he had to seek refuge there against these people that were like, we might need to kill this guy because he's bad for our commerce here in Mecca, and we don't want to change this thing. But you fast forward, and now it's still Mecca, and it's mostly Muslims that go there, and and walk around this thing, and it's not they're not pagans, they're mostly Muslims, so it's interesting. But Mecca was able to maintain its the whole thing of this pilgrimage. It's like, okay, well, this guy, Abraham, he's still important to the Jewish storyline and the Christian storyline. So this building is like, everybody comes and walks around it and says prayers and whatnot. But I was just kind of like, that's kind of, I don't know, man. I mean, they freely admitted that it's like, it brings a lot of commerce there, and that's why they didn't like Muhammad.
Right. Where is it?
That was some of my takeaways.
Where is it? With it, man! For the first time in several weeks, summons Depopular.
How are ya? BB, good to see you, my friends. Ad hoc, my brother. Good to be back with you.
Yo.
Adam,
Yeah.
I was going to ask, whenever you finished your Mecca thing there, you had mentioned Rick and Morty. Are you current on them, or have you not watched the 5th season yet?
No, I watched like the first 2 episodes of the 5th season.
Okay, so that's really crazy, dude, because 2 weeks ago,
A friend of mine asked me to make an MC rhyme. Sorry.
I popped on after the credits, right?
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if you remember or not, but you made a reference.
Me?
No, Ad Hoc did.
Uh-huh.
Who the hell's Adam M, by the way?
Whoa.
Doppelganger.
Edit name.
Yeah, somebody must have been toying with your
Yeah, someone must have broken into your house and
That's
somebody
stuff up.
by the name of
There it is.
Adam.
But I don't know if
Right.
you I don't know if you remember or not, but in that hour or hour and a half that I wound up hanging around after
Oh, don't break
the
T. Don't break the butt. Don't break.
I
the-
know. I know. It's gonna go through my mind for the rest of my life.
Yeah, 'cause you still got that.
little sliver of glass rolling outside your belly.
You did it.
I did.
But you made a
Congratulations.
reference, Ad Hoc, to Chud. Do you remember? You made a reference.
Yes, carnivorous underground
Chud.
Carnivorous humanoid
underground dwellers.
Do you remember that? You made a reference to Chud. To the
Okay.
movie Chud.
And
No?
Yeah, I mean, I barely remember. I don't remember what it was in regards to or anything, but
That
what-
night,
that night?
that very night after I signed off, I watched the most recent Rick and Morty episode,
wow.
huh?
which involves Chuds.
No.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
I-
god.
Nothing is
bro.
trivial.
And
Nothing is
I
trivial.
thought to myself, oh, he must have watched this already. But I put it in my head, next time we're together, I got to ask him, are you? Because it seems really weird that I wound up watching that episode that night. And
all night.
they were talking about Chuds.
Huh.
And you had just referenced Chuds.
I only saw the first 2 episodes of season 5.
I think this was the 4th episode. So
Oh my goodness, dude.
that is crazy, dude.
That is
Fantastic.
really that is serendipity.
Perfect.
I
Serendipity.
don't think I've heard anyone reference Chud in 4 or 5 years prior to you doing it that night. And then 2 back-to-back Chud references.
It's a back-to-back chud.
Total cray cray.
What do you call back-to-back chud?
That would be true.
For 1 million big room bucks, what would you call? What
A
do you
back-
call a back-to-back chud?
A back-to-back chud.
I don't have the answer, by the way.
Oh boy.
This is just call on the wit. Speaking of calling on the wit, I see you guys are partaking in beverages. Do you guys
Yeah.
know what they are?
We
What?
did
What?
this.
Oh, we
They're
drinking. Well, we already did ours.
Yeah, what
What
are you
in
drinking?
public?
I got to do a refill on mine, and
Okay.
I'm doing a mojito
Mojito.
with tequila instead of rum.
Oh, that sounds actually probably better because of the lime.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So and BB got a really cool stuff.
I'm doing a little. The other night, I was having some. I was sipping on some of Wiggles apple brandy,
Yes.
and it was very tasty. I was like, man, this is a nice apple brandy. You know, a little bit of ice in it and all that.
We played there when they were releasing that.
Oh, okay.
It was a release party.
Yeah, it's
for
kind
that.
of a I think it's a seasonal thing now where they release it like twice a year or something like that, and then otherwise you can't get it. You know, so I picked up a bottle and
Is that the one that has the what's his name? Appleseed on the label?
can I,
The old
let
one did.
me see this
Little
bottle.
Johnny Appleseed artwork drawing.
I don't think so. I think there's another one. There's a
Oh, maybe it was an apple whiskey.
yeah, I think there's an apple whiskey. Let me see the label. Yeah, no, there's wait, maybe.
Hannah K-Rock, everybody.
No. Your show him.
Woo
It's just got a kind of
Scribble.
little
Oh yeah,
it's like it's
Oh, I see.
it's a bunch of apples.
Overlapping.
Yeah, overlapping.
Pesca
apples.
Pisces apple.
Yeah.
Apple-
But so I'm just taking some of that, mixed it with some organic lemongrass tea,
Mhm,
put in a bunch of ice, and
mhm.
it's delicious. I had not made the mix prior to just now, and I just thought, ooh, this might go really well together, and I was right.
I was right.
What about you, Monk? I mean, I hear
Well,
you've arrived a little late, but
Yes.
Yeah, we heard that you like to drink stuff too.
I do. And you heard right, children. I successfully just opened a bottle of
nice.
Victory is the brand name. It is the Sour Monkey.
Okay.
It's a sour Chipel.
Wow,
Very
my
strong alcohol.
What is that? 8 what is that? 8.5?
9.5.
9.5. Nice.
That's almost like a wine. Just
Yeah.
a couple percentage
Fruity
points
notes.
away from more.
Fruity notes with from imported Belgian yeast swirled through the precise souring. Pucker up, Buttercup.
That'll definitely fuck you up.
Citrus laden tang.
How's the
ending
flavor?
with- Yeah. Oh, it's excellent. It tastes like a really good sour.
You gotta add a little tequila to that.
Yeah.
Now, this, are you guys familiar with
Fortify it.
Victory?
Oh yeah. Victory. They
I am
make,
not a fan of anything Victory. Actually, I've yet to taste. I'm not a fan of that brewery. I must admit.
Hmm.
I think
It is
they're
out of
Philly,
Bloomington,
right?
PA. Everything else is like super hops, right? They just do like a ton of hops.
No,
crap.
they have a variety of different stuff.
Yeah.
I've tried some things, and their flavor profile, I don't know. They get a little too experimental with the spices or something. I just don't. I don't like their stuff. What they do.
Right on.
That
Well,
one's good though. You like
Yes.
it?
Victory, if you'd like to sponsor the Monk on this, be nice. Yes, indeed. If there are any beverages or breweries in your neck of the woods, please don't hesitate to talk to us about it in the comments. And if you would like to watch us drink your local flavor, go to our GoFundMe, also affectionately known as Go Drunk Me, so that we can taste it. Why not? You be the judge of us.
All right.
We will talk about anything, and we will drink
Just
anything.
about anything.
Just about,
anything.
except
We
we might
have-
even do a puke bucket red again someday just to do it. But so I have that.
Worst
But I do
drink
have
name
my
ever.
backup. I have a little green tea and gin as well.
Okay.
So yeah, that's that.
Okay.
Ding dang do. How I'm certain it's already been covered, but how were your last 2 weeks in corporate land?
There were definitely weeks that made me
Well, it gave you a scar, I see.
hey, whoever Judy Tenuta.
Hey, stud muffins, Judy Tenuta. Oh, I recognize that. Judy Tenuta is a stand-up comedian,
I remember
but I
Judy
think that's
Tenuta.
TT
Okay.
because she looks like she's at the Hollywood
Walk of
Hollywood
Fame.
stars.
Yeah. Good
Standing
name.
above
Good
somebody's
name,
star
TT.
grave. Judy Tenuta. Hello, stud muffins. Pigs. Right? She was the pigs.
Right. Was that her? Okay.
Yeah. She was hanging out with us last week.
What?
Last week or the week before?
Week before, I suppose. Yeah.
But yeah, no, my last 2 weeks, primarily last week, just made me, again, it was that thing where I said, made me appreciate my job overall because I acknowledged I couldn't do that last week every week.
Right.
Not that I physically couldn't do it, but just emotionally and mentally.
Yes.
I said to ad hoc, I was like, if that was my regular work week, I would definitely have already been at the point of just like, fuck it, I quit. I'm just gonna see what I can write in terms of selling. What can I sell? Whatever I write, and
Yeah.
I'll live on. I'll get this ability and write off the rest.
Yeah.
I can't. I could not fucking do that every day. But being able to wake up at noon, 1, even 2 o'clock, and still do the work I need to do on a regular basis, definitely makes it doable.
Yeah. All things, we learn through contrast, and all things, you need it's perspective. I totally got you. I recently went back to work in the film industry, but I was able to parlay it to just 2 days a week, working,
It's got to be key.
11 or 12-hour days. And it's totally doable. And but like by the time I'm done, on the second day, I think to myself, boy, it was really good. I had a really good day, not gonna. And then I think to myself, God, I don't want to go back there tomorrow though. You know what I mean? Like, it's
right.
I don't know if it would definitely lose. I think I would lose very much productivity, having to do it, more. And again, it's just long hours, and getting in the past doing 5-6 days a week doing that. No bueno. But right now it's a really great crew. And I get to, they utilize me, to the way they do, when I'm around.
Right.
They're real happy that I'm there, and they let me kind of just go do my thing, and it's great. And the people that are on this crew, they're intelligent and forward thinking, and just great conversations. But more than 2 days, I probably wouldn't be saying the same things I'm saying right now.
Right.
I did some crew work too.
Yeah, ad hoc. Tell
Friday.
BB about this if you didn't see the
Well, I
post.
got a call on Thursday night past week to go work on a show on Friday as a stagehand for a band called Hairball, which is a national touring act that plays all 80s hits, rock and roll hits, metal, but they did, and they dress up and they have characters. So they opened the show up with Kiss, dude, Paul Stanley out, doing his best Paul
Boy,
Stanley.
did he look like him. Even visual, like his face looked like
He
him.
did great. Yeah, he did awesome. Killed it. Do a couple. So they do 2 songs, and then they go off stage, and then the way they do it, I was backstage, so you see how it's done. But they have the guitar and bass player are the same 2 dudes, and they don't switch outfits.
Mm-hmm.
But coming on and off the stage is the lead singer for these different songs, and it's total of 4 different dudes.
Mm-hmm.
that travel. So after they do their 2 songs, they go back in the dressing room and change their hair, wig, makeup, outfit. So that dude comes back on as freaking Twisted Sister, for example.
D. Snyder.
Yeah,
That was a great
there was a
outfit.
D.
too.
Snyder, but actually D. Snyder was a different dude. But that's how it was. They did Queen. The one dude did Freddie, and the dude who did Freddie also did Ozzy. They did a couple Black Sabbath, and he's really awesome. Like, they has the mannerisms, has it down. Like his hit all the power moves of Freddie Mercury. Like, had them all. Had like the stagger to the side with the footwork, and I mean, really did a character study. Got down all the power moves of him. Got down all the power moves. All the mannerisms of Ozzy. So it's kind of like stage acting, with singing. I mean, it was freaking awesome. And the crew, it was a freaking awesome show. Like, from a spectator, you're just like, yeah, it's like seeing 20 different bands in one night, and of course, so you're just there's a lot of nostalgia. Judy says, yeah, they were at the casino. Yep, it was Rivers Casino. So it was awesome. I went down as part of this crew, and I forgot how much I enjoy being part of a crew like that, because I'm so used to doing it by myself, on a small little thing. And this was like fun. And then so we have we set everything up. Then there's a 3-hour break normally. It's like 3-hour break before you have to come back. And when I came back, I got to watch the show, and then that was like almost 2 hours before we do Teardown. Teardown was 2 hours. And again, just like you said, everybody was cool on the set. And it was awesome too, because I met the one dude who I met a couple guys that book a lot of stuff down there. One on the lighting, and crew head stagehand side of things, and we had a good experience. So I'm invited back for other shows. So that'll be cool, because it's like right down the street from me. It's now, like,
is this local 8?
3 miles from me. I mean, there's people in the IATSE, but it's not union for me, and I don't get to claim anything as far as I know, but I don't care. But the main thing is that they have a downstairs where they hire local bands, and I'm doing exactly what I do for VOMA, which is pull the PA system out, set everything up, run the show, do the sound engineering, tear everything down at the end of the night, put it away. And it pays really well. Like,
wait, so it's a done deal? This is going to happen?
I go in on Friday.
Awesome.
Yeah, done deal. Except the only bummer thing is that I thought it was like more immediate, and he's like, he has a crew of guys, so it's not just one dude. So I'm like now part of this rotating crew. So, but they said that they have bands there like every Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
So,
drop a card.
I'm going in on Friday afternoon. I'll get the lay of the land, see where everything is at. And then there's a show there on Friday, which I will not be running, but I will be there, I'll shadow, look over, see how they do things. And then it's pretty cool because, like, I have total confidence in, like, how to do this stuff. You know what I mean?
Because of your out of control ego.
No, wisdom from experience, So, just it's awesome though. So good for me. Because, like, I'm thinking, like, man, VOMA is paying off, all those,
Right.
almost a decade of no money, volunteering. But now, these gigs pay $40 an hour. That one I did was $20 an hour. But this one I'm doing it all by myself. It's like close to $40 an hour. So that's pretty freaking awesome,
Nice.
That's great. That'll be able to put you where you'd like to be and substitute some of your road time.
It'll subsidize some of the road time. Yeah. Cause what happened with the unemployment now is I have to fill out, I had to apply to 2 jobs a week to be eligible to get the unemployment. So it actually worked out perfect. Like that was the first week I had to do it. I actually, so I met two guys that I applied for jobs legitimately and worked and got lined up for another one. So that was like, man, like the stars aligned for me. It was a really nice, good feeling. This, and the last week. Oh, and even crazier, at like the same time last week, Lauren, your sister, Lala.
Yep.
She messaged me like a couple weeks ago about this band I never heard of called the Prince Project. It's based in Pittsburgh, kind of Ohio. Like there's some members from Pittsburgh, some members from Ohio. And they were looking for a singer, but she sent it to me like 2 weeks ago, and the date that they were looking for was like April. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm sure they got it filled now, but I'm gonna look them up anyway. I looked them up on YouTube, and I see their performances, and they're really, really good. Like their singer that they were trying to find a replacement for, excellent. Better than the Prince cover bands I've seen in Vegas, way better. And so I was like, damn, this is a really good show. Like that they do. The sound was excellent. The band was tight. And so I complimented them. I didn't ask, because I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. But anyway, he messaged me back the producer of that and says, hey, do you know anybody that does sound engineering?
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, same freaking week. And I'm like, I do. What are you looking for? And he's like, well, ideally they'll have a small trailer. And I thought that it's like a full PA. And I'm like, I live in an apartment now. I'm not investing in, $6,000, $8,000 worth of PA equipment. And where am I going to put it? It's like, I can't do. So I said, I'll ask around for him. Well, the conversation goes on. I talked to him. Very cool guy. He's also the keyboard player. And then he plays Dr. Fink. Big Prince fan, huge Prince fan. He was like, it's like a dream come true for me to play this. He put the band together, and he's the one in Ohio, which is just like an hour away from Pittsburgh, that part of Ohio where he's at. And then he's like, well, talk to I was asking about the equipment. I was like, let me know, like, what do you need in this trailer? And he's like, I'm not 100% sure, but my guitar player would know. So let me put you in contact with him. I talked to the guitar player. No, but the guitar player was from Pittsburgh. Very cool guy, very nice guy. And he tells me that, we're talking. I'm like asking specific questions. And, and he's like, I don't know all of this. So but I'm still the guy who we're looking for a replacement for sound. We're like best friends, still. So it's like no hard feelings, no falling out. Dookie. And Ohio. And so
she's a youngster.
I talked to him, and he was a cool guy, and told me like the sound. He's like, no, like I don't. He's like, I travel with a snake, but no, you're not. I don't travel with speakers and all this. He's like, we use house. He's like, I travel with my mixing board and cables and stuff. I'm like, I could do that. I think I'm interested. And the more I talked, I was like, that would be. I know the music. They pretty much specialize in just the Revolution stuff. So early Prince. And I'm like, when I was talking to those guys, I was like, I know 84 to 94 really, really well. Like, I'll make you sound like the albums. I can do that. So yeah. So I got another job offer now. The only bad things about both of them is neither of them start until August, and then the Prince thing's not until mid to late October.
You mean 3 days away?
Well, the Rivers Casino, they're booked through August, so I'll get in the rotation starting in September. But yeah, you're right. It's only like a month away. So
yeah,
it's just a month away. I'm
so stoked, man. Like I was just. And here's the thing. Here's really the awesome thing when you sit back and think about universal serendipity stuff. Because what were we just saying right before that happened last week? Like right before that on Wednesday, me getting torn down by somebody telling me, dude, your ego's out of check. You shouldn't have on your LinkedIn that you're an entrepreneur. You're not there yet, bro. You shouldn't have on there that you're a producer. You shouldn't have on there that you shouldn't call yourself a musician. It's an insult to the rest of us that are. Shit like that. So I'm like, the fuck are you dude, I've run more shows at that venue. I've hired more musicians and I've fronted more acts. And I was like, hundreds, you know? So that all that shit. And then like the next day I get on this call down at Rivers to do sound engineering, and now I'm doing this sound engineering.
That's
so
it, man, you stood up to the challenge, and
the universe like answered
Dragon
with like
spits out some coins.
It seriously felt that way. Like I stood up. I was like, dude, it's not like you're talking. Yeah, I defended myself, of course. But yeah, that conversation was whack, wiggity whack.
Did you hear about this, BB?
You told me a bit about it. I'm gonna have to check more of it out on the. Is it a good bit on the video or?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
You can, but I think that's pretty much a gist of it without going into like some details, because it was obviously fresher in my mind at that point, like,
it might be more frustration than it's worth.
Yeah,
it would be, man, because it's like
it's all BS. It's all self.
It was
like I said, mirroring. Like everything he was saying is just shit that kind of he hates about
projection and insecurities and stuff. And that's what I felt too. But I was like, you can't tell somebody when they're accusing you of being ego that it's like, dude, are you sure like you're not projecting? You're an insecure, so I had to navigate that without saying that. But soon as I told the Monk and Becky, that was exactly their initial response. So I was like,
it's pretty clear.
Okay. All right. It's not, that was validating from somebody who knows me even better than he does. You know what I mean? And I'm flawed. I'll admit that. And I admit that I have an ego, but it's like, it's not malicious. And like, you're fucking wrong. Like you weren't there.
Ego in and of itself is not necessarily a bad thing. It's like I said to Ad Hoc earlier, I've always felt that most of the people that hang around the big room have a large ego. But that doesn't mean that it's out of check or inappropriate. It's just that we're confident in ourselves, and that makes us, it comes off as being, as an ego. But I mean, that's the ego. The ego drives your confidence.
It is. It's kind of a necessary ingredient for confidence.
It absolutely is.
What makes man want to rule the world? A-double-A. Make a man have to say it's 50-50 girl.
And people that look at you when you are
arrogant.
When you have the spotlight on you, or you're able to get the spotlight, all eyes on the room on you, whether you're the lead singer, whether it's because you're in the band, or whether it's because you told a damn great joke, or whatever the case is, the people that aren't able to do that think, that it's easy for them to be jealous, right? And then or feel anger at you for some reason. It's like, and Becky made somebody who I won't name her alter ego name, but if you watch the last show, you'll probably put two and two together. But she said, she's like, yeah, I stopped posting pictures on Facebook of happy moments because, of me and my family, thinking that you're sharing. But then somebody commented and was like, oh, must be nice. Another day in paradise with happy family. Like,
fuck that person.
Like that person was like,
fuck that person.
Like, and she was like, that was malicious. Like, you're angry because it's like you're celebrating the small things in life. You're celebrating what's important. You feel like you're sharing, and then somebody wants to tear you down because that. And this is one of the things, and it's understandable. That's dope.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I just saw a thing.
What do you do with that? You know?
One of our friends on Facebook posted a meme. There's a story about, about some girl who had breast cancer at some point in her life, and she was at a I don't know, Kroger's or some kind of shopping place, and she's out in the parking lot, and she was wearing a baggy t-shirt and no bra, and some older guy goes walking by her and says to her, "Hey, wear a bra, you pig." And she was like, what? And like, so then she like confronted the guy. He was like,
Wow.
"You heard me
And the
walk out with
bra.
us. We're going around without your bra and you like a pig." And she said, so he's like, she was like, "Yeah." So I lifted up my shirt and showed him my biopsy scar, from the breast cancer. And he was all taken aback. And so then I went to go get my car, and he takes out his phone and starts calling the police. And so then
that guy is like pent up issues.
So then he takes his
Depression.
then he took his car and parked behind her to stop her from getting away while
Wow.
the cops came. So then the cops came, and she was like, "I don't know, officer. He's here blocking my vehicle. I don't know what he wants me to do." And anyway, the whole and then it went on for a while after that, and somebody else had commented on the sharing of that post, saying, "Well, I don't condone her egging it on the way she did, but he was definitely in the wrong for what he did." And I replied to her, I was just like, I 100% applaud her for egging it on. If some individual is going to walk up to you that you don't know and open their conversation with you, not only by trying to tell you how to dress, but calling you a pig,
Assault.
then you have every right. Kudos to her, I said, for not letting him go about the rest of his day as if as if you're feeling like he could say and do whatever he wanted to, and then he was in the right. Hopefully he had a heart attack based on his interactions with her, and he got so angry. Great, good for him. But yeah, some people right? But some people just take that they can't bear to see other people celebrating or enjoying. It's crazy. It's a really
it's a sickness.
It's a horrible way. It's a horrible way to exist. It's a horrible,
terrible existence. Yeah, it's an illness. It's definitely a mental scarring.
I think a lot of it has to do with control issues, because they want to be in control of the world. They want to say what can be said, what can't, and if you're not in alignment with that, then there should be some type of penalty according to them, whether you're put in jail, whether you're fined. But this is, it's like it really bothers them that they can't have their way on everything. And
white man entitlement. Okay, not to go down this road. We know
too late.
So, how did you acquire your scar that you're rocking right now? By the way, BB, which I think looks really fucking good. Look like you have a line right.
Oh yeah, I think that's just a weird shadow, actually.
Oh, that's too bad, dude. You would totally rock a fucking scar right there.
You need a scar right there.
You need a scar. Dude, I'll be over. Hold on. I'll be over.
Put some makeup on there. Put some sutures.
Yeah, I think there's just a weird something going on there.
You need.
Oh yeah, you need the Frankenfinger.
You need Frankenfinger. You need this. You need this.
You need the worm. You need the worm.
Got the suture marks you can see on either side of that gash.
Oh yeah.
You see them 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, they scarred you with the sutures. But then you get the worm. No sutures. That's why I had the worm. The worm.
Oh yeah.
Which was nice and puffy when I was a kid.
Yeah.
My little pet worm.
That thing was Yeah, you ripped that open on a fence somehow.
Yeah, wire sticking out. They had it was at a street fair.
Gashed you real good.
And they had heavy gauge wire, with the cords going up. And some knucklehead, had it sticking out. They trimmed the wire off. It's chink. I just went running by as a kid, and it just
wow. Man, you could have got
that's
one of those missed opportunities for a lawsuit. It's like,
do you remember your initial reaction? Like
confusion, actually.
Yeah, it had to be confusion, right? Like
complete confusion, just like kind of like a burn. I think I made it like a good. Well, they had a disco ball in the street.
I don't remember. I don't think I was there. Somehow.
Was there any part of your brain at all that was like, did a ghost cut me?
Did Jesus cut me? Because it was a church fair. It was
Jesus,
outside St. Stephen's.
Did you fall to your knees? Fall to your knees? I'm sorry, Jesus.
Stigmata.
And who were you with? Because that went through every layer of flesh. It looks like it didn't go down to the muscle, but it could have. But it definitely went through every layer of flesh.
Yeah.
That and
it was amazing. It didn't damage any muscle.
You had to have some pretty good blood flow from that.
Oh, it's gushing. And Marion carried me back to the to the Smeadow house.
Okay.
And I know then Janet, was there, as well. And I remember they just,
let's get Marion in on this.
Right past your house, right past the big room.
Okay.
Which I guess I knew you then. I mean, it happened after I was 5, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember.
And I don't remember being with you. Or I somehow blocked it from my memory after pushing you into the wire.
That's the person who into the wire.
That's the person, yeah.
And T, by the way, I think I pushed you into the wire.
T, by the way, what?
I think I pushed you into the wire.
No, we were running around and there was a disco ball. It was Nancy, and I think I thought you were there. You might not have been there, obviously.
Disco ball.
And we were running on, running, trying to stay on the same spotlight, as it went around in a circle. And then went underneath the canopy, in front of St. Rochus there and slip. Yeah.
Fantastic. You should have sued the church.
I should have sued Jesus.
You should have sued the Pope.
Oh, the Pope.
We had to put the razor wire around the fence to protect the disco ball from
the demons.
From Satan.
From Satan. The disco demon Tron Travolta.
Tron Travolta. That's still
good scars.
That's one of the best named characters of all time.
Wait. So there really
wait. Let me get this straight. Let me get
this straight.
There really is a disco god, and his name is Tron Travolta. The name alone. Great.
Tron Travolta. He's very, very bad. Oh, funkiness aside.
The fact that it's Tron. His name is Tron. You get Tron. Oh, it's so good.
And, it's funny. I think it was just last week somebody had mentioned was asking about Chappelle's character, the crack addict.
Yeah.
And I think the character's name was Tron. And
okay.
And I was laughing at that. Or I think his name's Tron, and they were laughing. And then I started laughing even louder because in my mind I was like, Tron Travolta, that's brilliant. Like I just go because I didn't want to get into the story.
Right.
About it. But I was just laughing about how brilliant Tron Travolta is. That name is. Oh, got me crying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a classic.
Oh, that's a classic.
It's a classic.
We'll talk. We'll show it up on this stream.
Someday, Tron Travolta.
You got me. Ooh, you got me there, Tron. I watched it switch, and you're just like. It's perfect. Woo. That's great. That's great. I have weepy eyes tonight. I don't know if it's. I just so
allergies.
I'm just so happy.
Is the allergy rolling?
I'm just so happy. Maybe I'm allergic to the monkey. I'm allergic to
I
the
just-
triple sour monkey.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sleepy.
Allergies. The allergies.
Allergies.
Fucking allergies.
Maybe. Yeah. I
What
was
are you
everybody's. What?
Yeah, what are you allergic to? Oh, parts of the earth. Damn it.
The
Son of a
planet I
bitch.
live on.
Parts of the planet that I live on, my home planet.
It's like kryptonite.
I understand it's natural for us.
Dirt.
to do-
Yeah. Earth is like, kryptonite.
What are you allergic to? Nothing major. Like what? Oh, grass. What? Yeah, grass and tree pollen. Nothing to
You
really
know-
worry about. Yeah.
But they don't grow in the city.
Yeah,
So,
they don't grow in the city stuff.
not like
Yeah.
But I'm also allergic to exhaust.
Exhausting.
Speaking of pollution, like pollen,
John
Um,
Belushi.
John Belushi. That's funny. Tron Travolta, you got it. The where we live is one of the last coal burning electric dynamos, electric plants, power plants.
Okay.
Left in Pittsburgh, in Pennsylvania, actually.
Right.
And it's closing next month.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Yeah.
But what about all the jobs? What everybody gonna do?
Well, they'll get to they'll get to live longer.
You need to breathe and
They'll get to breathe and live longer, long enough to learn a new trade. Yeah, it is. That is the thing. That's the platform. You know what I mean? It's dirty jobs that kill the planet, bring money for families to provide for each other and their medical bills.
yeah. I don't know what made me think of it just now. I guess.
But
dirty.
I'm really happy that it's closing.
I
Congratulations.
yeah.
One of the
Stat-
major polluters
stat-
of Pittsburgh.
Stat that I found that made me hate an individual immediately.
Oh.
Was regarding Jeff Bezos.
I remember being on this program and finding out who that person was.
Yeah.
The one where he was like, "Thank you for sending me to space. All you paid for this."
Yeah, well, that was funny. That didn't make me hate him. I hated him before that. But I never had an issue with, like, oh, he's the richest man on the planet. Okay, whatever.
Somebody's got to do that.
Somebody's got to be that. But then I heard this stat and I thought, you piece of shit. He was the richest man on the planet prior to the pandemic, right? During the pandemic, his wealth expanded because of so many people ordering stuff online to the point that he could have given every single Amazon employee, everybody that worked at deliveries, their factories, their warehouses, all of that. He could have given every single Amazon employee a $105,000 bonus and still been richer
Still been richer than
he
before
was
the
before the
pandemic.
pandemic started.
I mean, they have to have more than
And he chose
45
not.
employees.
Yeah, they've got like 8,000 employees.
Wow.
You could have given all of them a $105,000 bonus. Still been richer than he was before the pandemic started. And before the pandemic started, he was the richest man on the planet. So, what kind of piece of shit
Yeah.
doesn't give that kind of $105,000 changes the lives of so many of your employees?
Well,
It obviously
But they wouldn't be
no,
my employee anymore if I gave them that money.
You'd be shocked. I did. Many of them would continue to do the job even more so.
That's true.
You're
That's
100% right though. Like
That's a piece of shit human being, is what that is. I don't
he's
care
a
what the
piece
fuck-
of fucking. He's
I don't
the,
care what the
They
fuck
all would
else
have been
he
able
does.
to purchase a home
Yes,
Really.
they would have been able to
or
pay off.
put their children
Get
through
them-
college,
they would have been able to get themselves out of debt, put themselves or their kids through
get an
college,
education.
or buy a house. They would have been able to choose what they wanted to do
Mhm.
and do it. Get their feet under them and been on more stable ground to live a happier, more productive, fulfilling life.
Hence making America great.
It would have put the money
Yeah.
into the communities that they live in. Because, like
Yep,
you said,
correct.
they
That's
would
how to
have
do it.
done something with it. But no, instead he bought like the entire. He bought a record. I think it's like Capitol Records or something. Like he bought.
He
But
went to space. I mean, he
and well, I mean, yeah,
he built it.
he did that too. But he like the money. That money. He bought it for like whatever it was. I don't remember how. It was a big chunk of money. Like,
Good.
that he bought this other company for.
It's all
Yeah,
relative.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit. Yeah, one of the things like I follow. You start to notice all this stuff, like this manipulation of the powerful people and how they kind of work in cahoots to keep themselves in power, and it's kind of fucked up when you start noticing that shit, and you're just like, man,
Yeah.
you guys are really fucking something else, man. That's unbelievable level of greed. Yeah.
Did you watch John Oliver last Sunday? He had a great bit on basically just the
The
ridiculous-
housing crisis
Yeah, it was the housing
and reparations.
yeah.
Yeah, I did watch that bit. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody should watch that because as a white American, you think it's hard to make sense out of reparations because everybody says, well, it wasn't me who did it. Why should I be punished for that?
but
but
then
then
you find out
When you
There's
when
still
you watch
people alive.
his explanation, it was like, oh, okay, the reason
yeah.
that we have this money is
Get past the slavery part of it and
yeah.
go to the things that the federal government has put into effect as recently as the 60s, and they're still on the books in multiple cities.
What are we talking about? Redlining and
Redlining
Redlining for housing opportunities. Like they gave away.
and how it was written into the was written into the law after World War II.
Oh yeah,
The-
yeah. That the money for the people would not go to anyone of color.
Negroes could not apply. That they could not make use or live in any of these houses.
And so the houses that
Only people of the Caucasian race.
and so
Actually written only those of the Caucasian race. I mean, the federal government, the United States federal government, was making
in the
laws.
freaking as late as this, and these in the 60s. And so apparently, the way that they these houses that are worth now over $200,000, they were able to buy back then for like $9,000 or something like this, right?
The number was that back when
They made
bought
over $200,000
in like Levittown. In Levittown, you could buy a house in Levittown for $8,000 at the time, which in current if you
like
would be like $75,000. Yeah, so the house that they were buying for $80,000 was approximately equivalent to $75,000 today. But those same houses that were for $75,000 today are sold for $300,000 now. So they've gained a little over $200,000 in wealth. But that's 99.98% white folks.
Mhm.
And here's the other part of that story that irks, that it's like, why are houses an important part of wealth generation? Like, because it requires the banks
There it is.
to be in cahoots with realtors to
Mhm.
artificially inflate a house so that you can borrow against it and get yourself in more debt.
Correct.
So
And
really, it's not that you don't have the money in the bank unless you cash it in or you flip it. But
It's a land scheme. It's a land grab scheme. The thing is like
it's fucking Ponzi-nomics. It's a Ponzi-nomics.
very few people own their house right out. Very few people own a house. Everybody has a mortgage.
Yes.
And who are they? And if you don't pay your mortgage, who owns the property? No matter how much you paid, the bank, your
Right.
car. If you don't pay your car bill,
Oh yeah, if
you know what I
miss one
mean?
payment,
You
they
don't
have-
own your car. You don't own your house. You know, they are owned by the banks.
Yeah.
Period.
So in a sense, wealth is an illusion.
Correct.
If you miss one payment, like in the fine print, they can fucking repo your shit. And it's happened to many black folk. Why?
Mhm.
Because they're also the target of that fucking scheme.
Mhm.
You know? And it's like, where's my fucking car? Oh, you were late on your payment, you know? And it's like, what? One time I was late on my payment and you guys fucking vultured in and snatched my shit. Like, yeah, there's a lot of illusion of wealth and all this printing, all this printing of money, you know, and people are talking about how it's deflating. Well, yeah, it will deflate, you know, and cause interest. However, if the rest of the world's printing it too, then it kind of keeps everything in equally. And so the only difference is instead of gas, you know, if your car goes 20 miles on 1 gallon of gasoline, 25 miles, let's say 25 miles on 1 gallon of gasoline, whether it's today or whether it was in the 60s. In the 60s, that 1 gallon of gasoline cost $1. Today it costs
It's up to $3.30 something right now.
$3. Okay, whatever. So still way less than the rate of housing prices,
Yeah.
which 10x, right? So it's like, but if everything's equal, it's like, okay, so you're making that much more too, right? And like you have all these other things.
Hey, Rock, I need to reload soon.
So it's like money is kind of bullshit, and it's like, yeah,
Transference of
you're
energy.
causing inflation by printing all this money, but the rest of the world's getting hit with COVID-19 too. And are they bailing out their citizens to the point that the Americans are? So, I mean, some of the leading countries are. I think England certainly is. I mean, we talked to people over there, and they had a bailout program before they were forced to go back to work, you know, and face the plague. You know, we had a fair chance on this one. I think, you know, the government said, hey, you know, we're going to give you these vaccines for free, and it's up to you to take them or not. And then after that, you're going to be forced back to work, like, because the economy needs, you know, this is like how the world just kind of works. You know, it's like we need you all to go out and do your labor thing. But if everything's equal, I mean, I don't know. You know, it's money's it's illusory for sure.
The way that the purpose of money should be an attempt to place value on your time. That's what it's supposed to be. Like, you know, in exchange for you donating this much time of your time to doing something that you are either good at or that is needed to be done
for the greater good,
you receive this compensation so that then you can participate in a larger more of a ethereal barter system, so that instead of me doing this directly for you and you giving me this in exchange for it, I have been compensated with this paper that shows other people, look, I have done things for other people. In exchange for this, I would like to give it to you in exchange for some work on my roof.
So that you can do things for other people.
Right. Then you do that for me. And upon me accepting your work and going, thank you, I'm very happy with what you've done to my roof. Here is some paper.
Right. It's bartering on what you're good at.
That's the idea behind it.
Right.
You know, it gets out of whack when you've got the Bezos types.
Right.
Who are like,
you're making money.
Yeah. You know, I'm making $1 billion every month. That's what my time is worth. You know, I mean, I don't know that it is.
Now that's ego.
That's ego, yeah. Yeah. With his what was he thinking, by the way, with that rocket that he built to go into space?
I don't know about this. This is news to me.
He flew.
His Blue Origin is shaped as a penis.
It's a total penis. I mean, it's like
That's great.
it can't be a mistake. You know, it couldn't have been. It couldn't be.
Think they're fucking with him?
Somebody was fucking with somebody, or he just didn't care because he had.
Dude,
He
He's
looked
fucking
at the
the sky.
design and was like,
He's
this-
planning on
can
fucking
you make it
space with
look-
that thing.
Yeah,
Can you make it? Can we hang some? Can we hang some testicles off of this thing to make it look any more like
Off
a
of the
penis?
hitch on the back of it.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. It's got a fucking head on it, and
Can you bring up an image?
I'm sure there's a
Yeah,
easy image out there.
Are we allowed to
somewhere,
show synthetic penises on Twitch?
I got it, bro. I got it.
You got
Space
it,
cocks, space balls.
right? But it's definitely not a mistake. I mean,
Baseballs.
got it.
I said space balls. Oh, that's a cock. The blue
Look at
Orion. Oh, that's excellent, man. That is it's a vibrator.
There's a good one. That's a
Is
good
it
one.
Origin? Is that what it says? Blue Origin.
Yeah, Blue Origin is the name of the
Blue
Mhm.
orgasm.
That's it. And a blue movie. You know,
right.
all porn references. Is
And
that him in the window waving?
I don't resemble Dr. Evil.
No,
Oh, that's
When
It's
art imitates
ridiculous.
life, or does life imitate art?
it's ridiculous. At least what's his name? Branson had a cool looking plane.
I want to see inside of it here. First seat.
And the head detaches.
Uh-huh. Yeah, sexy. Is that a feather on it?
Yeah.
French feather, yeah.
Look up, baby.
Tickle
We
your
got
ass
the
with a feather.
tools.
Tickle your ass
Feel
with a
something
feather.
down by your feet.
Why is there a feather on it? What the fuck?
Blue Origin, man.
Because of the.
I've never seen the feather design though. Is this
No, I didn't. I was just too busy.
apparently that's what it is.
I was too busy looking at the clock.
Tickle your ass with a feather.
So who designed this this space fucker?
I think his name was
Cock Rocketson.
Billy Cock Rocketson. Yeah, Billy Cock Rocketson.
Rockets. That's good.
Yeah,
Oh, Cock Rocketson.
old Bobby Cock Rocketson.
I think it'd be Rock Cock Rockerson.
Well, yeah, he could be more ice and
Brock Cock Rockerson.
Brock Cock Rocketson, right? At
Right.
least Branson had a cool looking airplane, right? Like Branson had like a
Yeah.
cool looking futuristic Batman airplane thing flying in outer space.
Yeah, it drops off the. So he uses the 747 to get it up in the atmosphere, and then the little plane drops down off of it and shoots
Mhm.
through the atmosphere.
You see, I shared with the Big Room Gang, a chance to go to space on a Virgin.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's the Branson thing, right?
Yep. Yeah, there's a contest. If you're a white male, you can
If
go
you're
to
right
space.
now, right? Right?
Caucasians need only apply.
Yeah.
Blue blood. The blue blood origin.
Blue Blood Origin.
Orgasm. There it is.
Put it on the table.
Bat
So I
wing.
can see it.
Space Virgin.
Sure.
Yeah, that thing's fucking. This looks like
1930s,
yes.
kind of pulp, pulp.
What?
It's fucking Flash Gordon. That's what he flew.
What?
Gosh.
We only have 42 minutes to save the Earth.
Flash, I love you.
But we
Oh,
only
I
have
only have
48 hours to save
For
the
the
Earth.
Earth. As she's saying that, he's being choked out with a whip on a rotating platform
With spikes.
with spikes shooting out of it.
I am.
And she's like, I love you, dude, but fucking wrap this up.
Wrap this shit up now.
I'm fucking
because
around with your buddy.
The Earth. We have to save the Earth.
I have to say
Stop your little
That's good.
asphyxiation act with your
I can-
your future Bond.
Working around with Timothy.
He was a
Dalton.
Bond, right?
Timothy Dalton, yeah.
Yep.
I would
Yeah.
totally be into that Flash, but please stop fucking around. We only got 48 hours to save the Earth. Flash."
We don't,
And I'm
we-
getting bored.
and I'm getting bored. Yeah, I don't remember. He went on to do a few other things. I think Flash, not a lot.
Movie called, that was Lasseter him? Or was he Lasseter? Or was that Tom Selleck?
I think it was Tom Selleck.
Yeah,
I always think Lasseter or Tom Selleck.
that's what I always think.
I can't get it out of my head. It's
I'm always thinking
I'm always
that
thinking.
sentence.
I'm sitting there and someone asks me something. I'm like, Lasseter, something. What happened?
It's ew.
Yeah.
Like, oh, now I remember how I got this scar.
It's, I was in Australia.
Filming
No, that was
as
Quigley.
Tom Selleck.
That was Quigley. Also Tom Selleck,
Down Under.
right?
Tom Selleck Down Under. Giving a good Lasseter at it. Yeah, Timothy Dalton hasn't done nothing else besides Flash Gordon and James Bond.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a fact.
That's a fact. Although he was in, I can tell you one other thing he was in.
What?
Doctor Who.
Really now?
Yeah.
Which doctor?
I want to say it was.
I told which doctor. I wasn't.
Which doctor?
Boom, 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 boom. I think it was.
Looks like a beer can floating through space on the right side of that.
I want to say it was David Tennant, but it could have been.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it could have been Tennant, but it could have also been Matt Smith. I'm not sure. There you go. Look at that thing.
Yeah, that's how to do it.
That is the way to go to space.
With style, with panache. Is it highly reflective? That's great.
That's great.
So I listened to That's Fast. There's
That's
a show
fucking
called
crazy.
Smartless. It's a podcast.
Okay.
Jafar was talking about it one evening, and I started listening to it at work.
I believe you.
Yes, it's with Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Jason Bateman, hilarious.
Bad
guy.
Words. Watch Bad Words, guys. Oh, you're
Yeah,
gonna
they
fuck
talk
it.
about that. That gets brought up. A lot of the guests that come on mention that movie.
It's fucking edgy as hell, and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
What are the names of the other two guys?
I watch it today, and I'm like, did they just say that? How did they get away with
awesome. What's it called?
that?
Smart.
And it's like 8 years old. It's like an 8-year-old film. Like, I couldn't believe it. I do give Lemon Blade credit for introducing me to that.
Jason
movie.
Bateman, Sean Hayes, and Will Arnett.
Oh, Sean Hayes is the gay actor, right? From
From Grace, Will and Grace.
Right. Yeah.
And
The
of
one who
course,
wasn't fake.
Will Arnett was also in Arrested Development.
Yeah, the deep voice guy.
Yes, that's right, Marty. But they have an amazing array of. The premise of the show is one of the three will invite a guest to come that they talk to for roughly an hour or so, and the other two have no idea who it is until they come on. It's a surprise. And they've had amazing people on it, actually. But one was actually Neil deGrasse Tyson. Tyson
Okay.
deGrasse.
Yeah,
Tyson deGrasse High.
Grassy ass.
right.
Grassy ass. And
Feel
they
the
talked
grassy
about
ass.
space. But one thing that he was saying is, as I'm watching this Virgin penetrating the sky into the galactic, was that rockets, it's a misnomer that rockets go straight up. They actually go across.
Right.
They are accelerating across the Earth using the rotation. And so as I see, that's what he's basing this, or that's what he's just employing it, getting up there, saving probably a ridiculous amount of fuel,
Yeah.
and then getting just that little boost to shoot across and out.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend listening to this podcast. It's brilliant. I listened to Sarah Silverman yesterday, but David Cross, of course, is on it. I listened to Paul McCartney yesterday as well. Just hilarious. Hilarious. Trinomical. Phenomical.
Nice. Nice.
In that space.
And that sums up space
It's live in New Mexico. It's true.
for everyone.
Yeah, interesting times that we live in, don't you say?
I do. I say it all the time.
I do. That and Lassiter.
And Lassiter.
Tom Selleck.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever watched the movie Lassiter, actually.
I might have seen it at the drive-in.
I never have.
Lassiter at the drive-in. Brandon.
Ron
What
Travolta.
will they say? Monday at school. Did you see all them tweets? Oh, look at them. They're shape-shifting.
They're shape-shifting as they leave your orbit. Earth's orbit.
They're like doing the Matrix thing. It's great.
Is it great?
Sure.
That's crazy.
Crazy. Kwame.
Now someone just got to build. I mean, someone's got to build the station, right? The hotel resort.
Of course. That's it. The space
That's where
station.
the real money starts changing hands.
Yeah, that's the true. Yep. A luxury space station.
You have 3-night stay.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. I ain't going.
Martinis in space.
I'm there.
Space martini.
Mm-hmm. Clip Glop.
Space Martini.
Give me another one of them space beers, Clip Glop.
Yep.
David Cross.
I would tell how could you not name the bar Clip Clop? At the, right?
Odenkirk was on there also, of course. They interviewed
Sure.
Odenkirk. Man,
I just watched
Space
that
bar
movie
Clip
with Odenkirk called Nobody.
oh yes. Oh man, they talk about that obviously and how he
very
ended up
odd
doing
movie. Yeah,
this action movie.
yeah, very odd. It's 100% action movie. Like
Yeah.
there's really no comedy in it. It's a straight out action movie. Very.
You know how he came about to want to do this?
I don't know.
Well, first of all, he's said that he just kind of he's always writing,
Yeah.
for other people, like that's just who he is, what he does, and and he always just writes whatever he's into that month, you know what I mean, and then just expounds on it. But he had a home invasion. It was the second one, and it was a daylight one where his family was being robbed.
What?
Yes, in
It
their
happened
house.
to him twice?
Yeah. Well, I
That's
think
not
the first
good.
one I don't know the situation, but the second one was definitely where they were
Oh no.
assaulted.
Oh
in the
no.
house. and he was
Straw
very
Dogs.
frank. I don't
Movie
know.
Straw Dogs. If you ever see Straw Dogs, Dustin Hoffman. Painful movie. You should it's a powerful movie. Dustin Hoffman. Good
Okay.
actor.
Lord.
Straw Dogs.
Who is he?
Not
Was it
good.
Dusty Kaufman.
Dusty Kaufman?
Yeah,
He used to be a wrestler, right? He's like John
correct.
Cena.
Dusty Rhodes. Yeah. One of the first people I've seen bleeding on a magazine cover, Dusty Rhodes.
Speaking of rape, they in that movie they explore where they have the husband restrained and rape the wife in front of the husband.
Were we speaking about rape, or did that just?
No.
Always speaking about rape. No.
So
Rape was brought up earlier in this conversation.
Oh, nice,
here's Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes.
Is he biting that other man's belly?
Possibly.
You're gonna be getting
His
stabbed
belly
in the
penis?
face by a bottle.
Yeah. So I remember being at SPAX
And seeing this exact cover.
And it might have been the exact same one, but it was definitely Dusty Rhodes. You know, like, and I was like walked past it like a couple times before, like, you know, like, what the fuck? I said, I was like 4. It's like, what the fuck?
That looks awesome.
But anyway, but as you know, he was saying, like, psychologically how that messes with you, and one of the ways, you know, there's the whole thing that goes through your head was, you know, if I was properly trained, you know, to fight back, what would I have? What would you do in this? Would it made matters worse? You know, what if I was a gun owner? You know what I mean? What if, you know, and I had access to like all of these scenarios go through your head on a daily basis, you know, about protecting your family. And one way that he dealt with it was by writing this script and then training for the film for like up to 2 years as part of his psychological, and not out of aggression, because he was even saying, like, you know, I honestly can't tell you if it would have made matters better or worse. I think in that scenario, you're probably, what we did was probably the best, was to just allow it to happen and for them to go away. You know what I mean? Instead of thinking that you're going to save the day and then you have a dead family member.
No, but it just sucks because when you let them get their way and then they still kill you. That's the shit.
That's
like,
the worst.
You know,
that's the worst. When that happens to me, I'm pissed.
Well, you don't know, you know, and that's the whole thing.
Know.
You're fucking sitting there. It's
you
like,
don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know who you're dealing with, buddy. To quote another, a wise man once said, what does he say?
I don't know that quote.
Oh yeah, you know that quote.
Later in the same episode, Sir Bald, or no, he doesn't quote Sir. He does quote Sir Bald, but he does quote Rahamasan.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
You don't know who you're dealing with,
buddy.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So how was the movie actually?
It was okay. It was short. Yeah, it was definitely like I think it was sub an hour and a half. You know, like it was
that is short.
Yeah, it was not a long movie at all. It felt like it
Martin Short
wrapped up pretty.
That was another one I listened to the other day. Martin Short is genius, by the way.
I just went through a whole.
He's so good.
Yesterday, I went through the whole. And you're pointing at him. No, you're not angry.
You're not angry at him.
It's like you know him. Hey,
you.
I know you. I know you.
Lawrence.
Hey, Lawrence. Yeah. What do you think your chances are? What do you think your chances are of winning the gold? It's not that good. Lawrence still has to work a lot on his swimming. I'm not that
strong as
a swimmer.
And Lawrence can't swim.
Right, Lawrence can't swim.
I'm not that strong of a swimmer.
And he's got the floaties on his arms.
He was saying that like Chevy Chase, Martin Short was only on Saturday Night Live for one season. Yeah. So what happened was, I just learned this yesterday, on Smartless, with Martin Short was the guest, and that Eddie Murphy left.
Wait, did you just say Chevy Chase or Martin Short was only on for one season?
Chevy Chase was only on for one season as well.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah. I know, ridiculous, right?
Yeah, because he was so impactful. I mean, he was there with John Belushi and.
Mm-hmm. I'm Chevy Chase, and you're not. And he was the first one too that started out as the anchor host and then did skits. Yeah, ended up doing the news anchor and then did skits. But anyway,
he was saying the opening. Yeah, he always did the opening. Yeah, with the
Ford.
He'd fall down,
Right. But I think that came after the anchor thing. But anyway, I don't know. Doesn't matter. But Martin Short was saying that the year prior that Christopher Guest and he were on, and another big name that he had said, Billy Crystal Those guys, they were all brought on because the year before Eddie Murphy left mid-season because of film career and just got too big.
Right.
And then Joe Piscopo was left for the rest of that season to carry the rest of the season, in which case Will Arnett quickly says, "Oh, is that how he got so strong? Having to carry the whole show."
Right.
And that just killed Martin Short. But yeah, so what's his face?
Carry the whole shit.
What's his face? You know, like whammied,
Quick
like
Witty,
on all
that's
these
Quick
names. But he only had them sign 1-year contracts because they didn't know if the show was going to get canceled or not, because it took such a big hit after Eddie Murphy left, you know.
Wow.
But Martin was like, no, I kind of just stuck to my 1 year, mainly because I'd done 4 years with Second City, SCTV, and I kind of just like mixing it up.
And he saw the movies were possible because Eddie Murphy did it.
Yeah,
If the
they
black
did Three
guy could do
Amigos.
I
They
could
did Three
certainly do it.
Amigos right out of that.
I'm kidding, of course. For anybody just tuning in.
Yeah. But another great moment with Martin Short, if you want to just see Martin Short like not be acting and being himself, which part of himself is acting, it just he is Jiminy Glick.
Yeah.
Comedians in Cars Having Coffee with Martin Short.
Oh yeah, man! I
Another
need
one.
to see that.
That's a great show. I don't like Seinfeld, but I love that show. I love that
Right.
show. I love funny people, kind of sharing
Well,
moments.
who hosts? Is there a regular guy driving the car? What's the
It's
setup?
Seinfeld.
It is Jerry
Oh,
Seinfeld.
it's Jerry.
Yeah, he's a car head, and what he does is he picks a guest, and then picks a car that is relevant to their personality type. And then he picks them up, and they have conversations in the car while going
So
to
Jerry
some coffee
and Jay
place.
Leno are both car heads.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I couldn't imagine being in a car with Jay Leno. That sounds hard.
It does. It does. That sounds difficult. Yeah.
Tell me about you. Tell me about you. You keep talking. I got you.
Ding, 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 ding. So anyway, yeah, that's another great show. I highly recommend.
I remember, we're all old enough to see when Jay Leno went on the air and thinking, year after
Why?
year,
The Doritos
how
guy?
is he not canceled yet?
Yeah.
The Doritos guy? How's he not canceled?
Yeah. But, it just goes to show you the common clay, they'll watch anything. They'll watch anything. Woo-hoo-hoo. They'll believe and watch anything.
You give them enough time to,
Acclimate?
NBC was like, look, dude, let's just have Jay Leno guest hosting this shit from Johnny Carson for a number of years. Let the folks
Dumb down a bit.
wet down that clay a little bit, make him a little more malleable, make him a little more moldable, and feed them a little more Jay Leno, and then we slip in Jay Leno, and now there he is, and no one even knows. I mean, there's probably at least 10% of the American population who thought it was the same guy. They probably thought they didn't even know Johnny Carson retired. They're like, oh, I don't know. It's always been this guy.
Johnny who?
Johnny who? Jay Leno's been here for like 38 years.
That's when I was a kid. My parents used to watch Johnny Carson.
Carson.
No, what? I was 30 when he left the air.
Right?
The chin.
That's in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That
what
was
they did.
painful. His monologues. Remember, there was a while there, BB, where we would go and we would watch all the monologues,
Yeah.
and we wouldn't watch it. Guess we would kind of like, I don't know why or how it happened, but we would do this. We would just watch the monologues.
Yeah.
In the big room.
It's a big room time. It was one of the. It was the golden
In the
years.
big room.
Yeah,
So
the
you
golden
would
years.
would he tape record him, and you would just that was part of the thing that you did.
No, I think we just would kind of we would just jump into whichever one there was there,
and get the news. That's how we found out what was going on in the world before getting the real news from CNN at 5:30 in the morning when no one was watching.
then they
3:30
never
in the
showed
morning.
again.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's we talked about that a couple weeks ago. Please watch earlier a broadcast of the big room. Ching. Yeah, and just not funny, just painfully obvious, so painful.
Yeah, the delivery was never good. I mean,
Never
we were late teens, early 20s, and we're just like,
What
and
is
it's not that I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that it was targeted at a different demographic. I think we were slipping right into the demographic they wanted to target, but his timing and everything was just.
Somehow I don't think you were the demographic. I think the demographic they were trying to target was definitely over 50 at that time, probably closer to over 60, because that's who they thought was watching and had the free time. I mean, it wasn't us.
Funny.
You know, and now the people that do it the best, I can tell you, in my opinion, the best person at it is Steve Colbert.
That was another great
his
interview.
writing.
That was another great interview with Smartless,
His flow,
and him talk about his evolution is fascinating.
His flow is just so consistent, good and edgy. He's the best to do it. I mean, we all stand on the shoulders of the greats to come before us. So there's that. Where he's been doing it for I don't even know how many years now, 4 or 5 years. So it's not been that long, considering there's 40 years of precedent prior to him. But he's the best to do it so far. Jimmy Fallon is still not good at the interview things. He's hot and cold. I think Jimmy Fallon does. His skits have gotten really, really good, especially if it involves music. Jimmy Fallon has impressed me with his musical skits, because when he was on Saturday Night Live, I wasn't impressed by Jimmy Fallon. But when he got his own show, I was like, guys, it's going to suck us again. But yeah. Judy Tenuto, who is James?
James Travolta.
James Hetfield?
Were we asking a question earlier? Maybe.
Oh, wait.
Lawrence
That's
Hill,
old. That was old. It was just this. I don't know. That just posted up 10:48. 10:48.
Maybe she fell asleep and woke up. James?
Oh, James Corden? Is that the sidekick of somebody? Or
No. That's the British guy after Colbert.
Oh shoot! Really?
The Late Late Show.
Oh my god! No, I don't know it. I don't know it. I'll have to look it up. I have known nothing about this guy.
He goes off opposite Seth Meyers on NBC. Seth Meyers on NBC.
No, I don't. So JT, this is your. You think he's better than Stephen Colbert?
Well, it was really interesting because Colbert was talking about how
he's different. He's definitely a different vibe.
On the earlier broadcast on his first show, he was doing a character. Yeah. And when he was offered this position, it was like, well, he was done. He was like, I'm done doing that character. You know what I mean? Of stirring things up,
politically,
yeah. Politically, he's like, and that was just a character, you know what I mean? That he was doing.
But he attached his real name to it.
Yeah. So it was really fascinating. It was an interesting Twitch. I hate Twitch.
He had a huge fan base, myself being one of them.
Right.
What he did there, he was very.
It was stirring the pot, in a very
the character of a very white Republican.
But But what was interesting is now he's doing it
I'll
more
be
as
the judge of
himself.
that, Tenuta.
you
But
know?
I will tune in, and next week I will weigh in on that.
James Corden is much more casual and friendly based. It's like he's having much more of a conversation with the guests.
Mhm.
It's almost like
A
it's-
podcast.
Yeah, it's similar to who's the English guy in BBC?
Oh shoot,
James Graham.
James
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, there's Graham Norton.
Graham Norton. That's it. Who's Graham
Yeah.
Norton?
Graham Norton is the guy that's on BBC. That
Graham Norton.
yeah, but he keeps all the guests.
Wow.
He keeps all the guests on the stage the whole time, and it's more of a conversation kind of thing. So James Corden is seems much more like that. He does a singing. It's almost a
Song and dance.
he does a spin-off of comedians in cars where he does singing in cars. So he'll go.
Oh, it's that guy.
Yeah, that guy. He gets in a car with
Right.
different people. And
There was one with Paul McCartney that was really
Oh,
fascinating.
yeah,
because
well-
he went to JM. He went to he visited
Hello, Mama.
his house. That
Yeah.
he grew up in, and it was the first time he actually went into it during that. And these different places.
Carpool karaoke. Okay, that's the guy. Yeah,
that's
he's.
the guy.
I.
Rounder
I'm
face.
definitely okay. I didn't know he had his own
Britain
show, but Carpool Karaoke is very entertaining, and he does it great.
he's on the.
I
He's
am
on
a
the
fan.
late night. Yeah, he's on the second round. He's after Colbert, so he's on the 12:30 to 1:30.
Okay. All right.
hour. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Okay.
The television.
All
at
right.
that hour. But then again, YouTube has everybody can access everything at any time.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out for sure.
yeah, he's good. I don't watch him regularly just so I don't have time to do it. But when I've seen of him, I do enjoy.
Yeah.
What I like about Colbert
What
is that
he
he
knows.
still does
I worked to pee.
a section of the monologue. It's pretty lengthy, usually about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
That is political, and it summarizes what happened that day. And it's
Oh, that was the
satirical.
other thing I wanted to say is that
And
Colbert,
it's-
and listening to this, he's with the writing staff about 45 minutes before they go live. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there's something called like the late break team, essentially, or something like that, that they come in and at 5 and he's with them, or it's, let's say, 2 hours before airtime. And they all arrive in that room with what is the absolute current news, and they write it and put it together and go. And he's with them. He's in the room with them.
yeah.
they have
There
it's
have been
impressive.
multiple.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, there's been multiple episodes where he'll start. He comes out for the monologue and he'll be like, "Okay, hey, we had a completely different monologue written for this episode as of about 30 minutes ago, but in the last 30 minutes, filming this, going live at 6 p.m. Here's what's happening," and then the whole thing gets changed up on him.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I don't watch that show either. I don't watch late night television. I think during the last election, I was watching the intros, the first whatever it is during it, just to get some humor in my life about all of the situations that were occurring and the
Sure.
You
polarity.
mean Colbert?
All of them. Even that's how I first learned that Seth Meyers had a talk show, to be honest with you. But because I was just looking for somebody to show me comedy in how much bullshit was going on.
Yeah, like
how
you
much
see
just
what's
stupid
happening, but
bullshit.
you see.
I
it
needed
makes
I
it
needed somebody
ridiculous.
because I don't pay attention. I don't watch the news like that. I definitely don't watch it for entertainment and information.
Fuck no.
You know what I mean? And so during that time when I realized, oh my God, I'm so in the dark, And when I look to enlighten myself of what's going on, it just made my mindset very dark. So I had to counterbalance it. I would get a bit of information of what was trying to be taken away and what would, and all this political bullshit. And that's when I went to the comedians. That's when I went to what were the talk show hosts talking about to the public, to the American public on major stations. You know what I mean? It's not like, the open-mindedness, was only in a subverted group. It was on NBC and ABC and all these channels were saying, pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it in a comedic way so that you don't slit your wrists.
Right.
And that's what I needed. And that's how I found out and watched different bits from all these people, including the guy, the karaoke carpool guy.
Okay.
But,
yeah, I just YouTube Colbert like regularly as much as I can.
Yeah, I've been blessed to believe that to kind of back off at the political mindset lately, because I think that maybe.
Oh yeah, I've been out of the political thing. It's just
somebody
Colbert.
There's an adult in charge again.
Well, to take this conversation full circle with just few minutes left in our show, take it full circle is we talked earlier today, in fact, very, very early in the show, about the sense of control. As individuals, human beings walking this planet, we have to share this planet with lots of other human beings that are also alive at this period and may have radically different viewpoints and beliefs than ours.
Yeah.
But our egos, if the ego can get spun out of control in a bad way,
duality,
wants to control other people's egos, wants to control other people in general, if not enslave them, certainly manage them to a degree that they're not offensive or they're this or they're that or whatever the case may be. But that's when egos get out of control in a bad way, when you literally you want to silence other people's voices because you don't find them relevant or they don't align with your own. So I just want to bring that around full circle because this is
that.
Yeah. So we got a couple minutes. You guys want to add anything to that?
I don't know if I want to add much more to that, because that was very good in bringing it full circle. The slap back, is what they say in comedy or whatever. You know what I mean? The first joke relates to the end, and you say, "Thank you, good night." So it's very good. This is a very interesting time. I had a conversation with somebody at work about this, who also has children roughly around my children's age, that now is a new age of enlightenment. As we discussed in the past, the fruit from the tree of wisdom was also referred to as, what brought down humanity, and biting into that fruit and giving you access to the true spectrum of thought on our planet can either uplift you or go down. You can go down into the roots or you can go up into the branches and touch the sun. So having children, it's this very interesting time because using the internet could either pull you into the succubus or you could use it as a point of research. Anytime there's a question asked, I don't pretend just because I'm the parent that I have the answer and I give them a flaccid, well, this is how it is, kid, because this is my perspective of it. I say, you know what, from what I've experienced, this is my limited point of view, but let's research it. And we research it and we get not just one book's point of view, but many books' point of view on how the big story is told. And that breaks down the duality and the separation. And you see the common thread of all the common clay. Thank you so much for being here in the big room. Black Cat Moan at the venue of Merging Arts this Saturday, and then the following Saturday at the Millville Music Festival.
Nice.
Yes, indeed. BB Rumble, what do you got to
Are
say?
you going to be there? Wait. You might not know, but you might have to catch up after the show.
Right. Yeah. Because I was just going to say about the listening to different points of view and everything.
Something too.
Wizard Man, summons from across the pond. Rev. Wizard Man,
Wizard Man!
summons from the frozen land. Singing it out.
I just got to tell you.
I just got that's such fucking great closing credits music. It's crazy.
I know. I watch it every time. I keep thinking to myself, now is my moment to go hit the restroom.
Right, and then can't.
I can't. Because I can't. I cannot. Don't make me do this. I cannot.
That was a great
800 big room
cliffhanger
bucks.
too,
What
BB.
movie?
That was
Who
awesome.
was the actor?
Great job on that cliffhanger.
Yeah, good setup, BB.
Right.
Good set up. So, welcome to Big Room After
Part
Dark.
due.
After dark.
Part
After
deuce.
dark. Bring out the dancing girl.
This is the part where we've all
First, the horse.
during the credits here, we've all taken off our pants.
Oh,
And,
yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
It's just, you can't really.
You can't call the police on us because you can't see anything.
You can't do
Nothing.
it.
You can't see nothing.
To bring it around full circle, if you go back to the beginning of this episode,
Yes.
DB tells a story about a guy that got fired from CNN because during a 15-minute
Zoom break.
interlude, he decided to masturbate because he thought his camera was off. And he's a CNN anchor,
No,
Is
no,
it
no, no,
yes?
no. He was a CNN.
not an anchor,
No, he's an analyst.
analyst.
That
You're more
pops
like an
on.
analyst.
No!
Hello.
Got a million of them.
Yeah, and his name?
Penis
Yes.
McCockrub.
No, his name?
What?
Jeffrey Toobin.
Cold
Jeffrey Toobin.
tubing.
Thank you, Jeffrey Toobin.
Tubular.
He's cool too, man.
Yeah, but he likes to jerk off during Zoom breaks.
Anything to make him feel alive.
And so do
And-
we. Welcome
and-
back.
As
We're fully refreshed after that. interlude.
as Boris Johnson said earlier today
Uh.
regarding removing all of the COVID restrictions in London, if we don't do it now, then when are we going to do it?
That's such a stupid sentence.
Oh, our politicians. The world that we live in is comical.
Comedy.
If you take
Comedy.
anything away from
But
this
that's
episode,
obviously what was going through Jeffrey Toobin's head during
Right.
his break. He's like, if I don't do this now, during his 50, I mean, I got
I'll never be happy again.
I got another hour on this meeting probably. What am I going to do? Wait till I turn off my computer to jerk off? No, I have a 15-minute break here. I'm already at my computer.
I do.
Which
for
reminds
so
me,
many
hold on.
people all the time. When do I get to do for me?
Right.
This is my moment.
Thank you.
I'm gonna
Thank
do
My
me.
time.
I'm gonna
Thank you.
do me.
Do me, baby. Do me, baby.
Good old Jeffrey Tubin.
Color me
This
bad.
tequila gets more and more delicious as I drink more and more of it.
Right? Remember
The
what I said
world
earlier?
is
That's the magic of
delicious.
alcohol.
Remember I said earlier, man.
You are the mayor. You are the mayor, El Mayor of Tequila
And
Town.
El Mayor.
I said Ad Hoc
Of this
earlier. It
tequila.
doesn't matter what situation you're in or how volatile it's getting or whatever. The one way to make sure everything's fine is lots of alcohol.
Or masturbating at 15-minute clips interval.
Right. Yeah, you can't wait. You can't wait till the end of the meeting.
Right.
You can't
Unless
wait till
it's
the end of the
whiskey.
workday.
Unless
Yeah.
it's whiskey, then TK gets a lot more volatile.
Well,
Doesn't he do
But-
it?
but even that wraps it up. That's why that was my point.
That's finality.
Right.
Yeah.
That wraps it up. Then it just pushes it past the argument phase into the physical confrontation phase.
And then the police break it up and you
Right.
sleep it off.
And then you're violating a law, and then everything gets.
He
put
said
back.
either way, alcohol resolves the situation.
Either way, alcohol results.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is funny.
Yeah, that was a good little bit of dialogue at the
missed
full
that.
circle
I missed
beginning of
that.
this episode.
Yes.
Yeah, it was definitely some BB Rumble logic going on. We were like, yeah, he's right.
It makes sense. I don't
Alcohol wins.
know.
Alcohol wins that round.
Put into practice, but on paper.
On paper, this is solid. This is solid. This is solid society building. right
Either
here.
way.
I've come here
Oh,
to
man.
drink alcohol and
I've come
kick
here-
some ass.
And
I can't kick. I'm coming here to get drunk. Is that it? Come
I
here to
do.
get drunk. No,
I
drink
think it's
alcohol.
just- I think, yeah, drink alcohol. We were
Yeah.
walking into, we were going into
Ace.
Aces. We opened the door, and Sammy was behind the bar. And Sammy said, hey, you guys, how's it going? And I said, we come here to drink alcohol and kick ass. And I can't kick ass.
This, of course, is a
Dude, I
reference.
need to say that. I need to put my ego first and let that spew out of my mouth
Yeah, and,
every time I
Oh.
drink from now on.
and then
the rest of my life.
Sammy proceeded to get us ridiculously drunk.
Oh yeah,
Because he loved that so much, and he created the Grandizer for you.
Yeah,
And
grand.
Fruit Crusher Punch.
He gave. I
That should
gave
be a
it.
name for a drink.
Crusher Punch.
Oh, I'm sure it is. That is. It's,
In
it's a,
Japan.
We probably did it one night.
yeah,
It's
this
a
True
True
Crusher
Crusher
Punch is
Punch.
definitely an orange heavy punch drink with
Really
something
sweet.
in it.
Yeah.
Slow
The
gin.
Hawaiian Punch. It should have Hawaiian Punch in it, which was a great,
Yeah.
tasty, tangy drink.
Yeah, with pure grain.
Sure, drink.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the grand.
That pretty much is the Screw Crusher Punch right there. That
Yeah.
pure grain and fucking
Well, a screwdriver is orange, like you said.
Yeah.
yeah, but you don't need to
vodka.
follow that.
So you need orange. You need a screwdriver and,
No, you
and
don't.
punch. I
Now,
know.
orange juice, and alcohols. I'm just not a fan of that.
You don't need
So
a lot of
acidic.
it. Oh yeah, it is. It is.
It does. Yeah. It's coming up to here real quick.
Yeah, real
Yeah.
quick. Dude,
And
after
they make
college,
that
I
with
couldn't drink
champagne.
orange juice for years. After college, I couldn't fucking drink orange juice for years.
I can't remember the last
Ruin
time I
orange
had
juice
orange
for you.
juice.
It ruined
Mix
the
it-
orange juice for me.
Mixing alcohol with orange
College
juice can
ruined
juice
orange
for you.
juice for me.
It ruined orange juice for
I
me.
learned. I learned to appreciate coffee,
Long time at least.
and I learned that orange
Okay,
juice
will kill you.
will kill you.
All right. So here's
Orange-
Thank
the
you,
thing,
orange-
guys.
college.
Orange juices. Have they studied how much orange juice gives you cancer, throat cancer? I bet you they haven't.
Oh, that's a good point. To college students, anyway.
Right? I bet you they haven't studied that.
Hey, BB, let me ask you a technical question.
Yep.
This can be. Good.
Is there a way
Nope.
for us to? Okay, then. Thank you very much. That's all I had.
Is there a way for us to what?
I'm talking about yay bomb, not a bomb.
Yay, VCM.
All
It's Black Cat Moan.
right. So in Discord, there's a Discord server.
Yep.
You remember whenever we first set this up like a year ago, and we were getting pretty, you had to get under the hood until we found this StreamYard.
Yep.
And we're like, oh, thank goodness we don't have to get under the hood. Like they made it easier
let's
for
just
us.
be
Let's
lazy
just
here,
pay
yeah.
them money and use the set.
Lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But where is there an integration? The thing is with rather than us popping these things up like this, there was a way to create like a little stream, like a little thing over here, like right down there, like in this
I know
empty space that would just stream these things. You
Right.
know, because like we have thousands of followers, and we're only
Thousands
showing
of
you two.
followers, thousands of comments.
We can't show you the stream the whole time.
So we
But with
don't. We
Discord,
show you the 1 or 2 every hour.
Yeah, that's all we do. It's all we can do for you people. But with Discord, we would be able to. So there's Discord server. Now here's the truth about this. From our perspective, Discord's a place where it's almost just like Twitch, except you don't get to see the faces. You just
Right.
hear the audio. And so but if they're in Discord, people can jump into different rooms. It's very, very much like early days of what you used to moderate.
Live chat.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. So like it actually gives us exposure to 2 audiences in that stream. So there has to be a way. I got to do a little research and find out if there's a way for us to put that little Discord gadget right down there, and then we can link it to our Discord server, and maybe pick up a few more thousand guests.
We gotta look more into those overlays. I mean, what kind of functionality is there in those overlays? Are they
Ogabe?
Is it only graphics and transparent backgrounds that open you up, or can you add? Because like that was the thing on the what was the other one called that we used to not StreamYard but
Light.
It was
Stream
Elements, OBS Live.
Yeah. That one, that had overlays where you could build.
Yes.
Throw in a chat box here.
And that's the thing with this is like we're paying money. Like when I close out of this, and you probably see it too. There's like, hey, did you have a great experience? What suggestions do you have? All the time, I'm like, add more swipes. Like let us move us this way, that way. Like add more functionality to this thing. You've had a year now, and I haven't seen any updates or improvements to this software at all. Yet it exists, and we know it exists on OBS for free. So like, why are they not? Who's like, StreamYard? Thank you for making this easy, but at the same time, you're kind of like you've been lazy. Like, there's more. Like, give us this functionality, right?
I think that they figured out. StreamYard figured out the magic code to allow people to share screens. Because that was something that you could not do easily in OBS.
But unfortunately, we found out that it gets us kicked off of these other. So thanks for giving us.
Yeah, we don't share shit anymore thanks to that.
Yeah, but now, so now it's like, you gave us an ability, but we get kicked off by sharing shit that's already on fucking YouTube. Like, we're sharing YouTube content, we're broadcasting on YouTube. Like, how is this? Makes no, like, WTF? Like, that's bullshit. So give us, so I feel like
there's gotta be a better way.
Yeah, or we're going back to OBS. StreamYard, you hearing us?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. BS. I'm gonna say the BS.
We paid for this for a year, and guess what? It's been about a year. So so anybody out there in StreamYard land who's eavesdropping on this conversation, I hope you are.
Bugs everywhere.
More functionality, or I'm sorry, you lose Big Room and all of our 10,000 followers right now, of which we only highlight 2.
Yeah,
because they're all watching us on other platforms because of this.
That's right. We're streaming. I mean, thank you for giving us the ability to stream. Yeah, we are streaming directly to YouTube. We are streaming directly to Twitch right now. So, but
Facebook.
But yeah, there's just and Facebook. Yeah, there's just like a lack of functionality though. It seems like.
Yeah, you need more formatting options. We need more widget possibilities. Is what we need.
Yeah.
We need more formatting and widgets. That's what we need.
Widgets.
And like
I
a
like
lot of places though, they're like, oh, can you write code? Well, here you go. You can get on there and write your own. Well, we don't write code.
I
You
don't
hear
like that.
me?
You hear us? We
Yeah.
don't do that. So this is what we're paying you for.
Joey doesn't share food.
And I always love to say, what are we paying you for?
That's what I always love to say. That's one of my favorite sayings.
I learned that from my grandpa.
What am I paying you for?
Ace.
And
But I
yes,
learned that from my pap, from my pap,
From
my
your
pap
pap.
Ace,
Right?
my grandpap Ace, grandpap Laszlo.
Grandpa Ace.
yeah, the puppy,
What am I
Grand-
paying you for?
grandpuppy.
You know he said that a lot. You know he did.
grandpappy.
The
Puppy.
contractors, every
Oh, fuck
contractor,
yeah.
as you were building aces.
Fuck.
What am I paying you for?
You know, something that hit me that was I'm always fascinated by the passage of time. And
had a
acknowledging
conversation
the-
with my children about time.
Jill.
Fen is very fascinated by time, by the way.
Yeah,
and the
time is
perception of it.
fascinating.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. I'm
Yes.
gonna blow his mind next time I come visit. Then.
Oh, very good. Yeah, he loves talking about it. Okay, go ahead, BB.
And
Wormhole.
just looking at like remembrances and then relating it to where am I at in my current perception of time.
Yes.
And it occurred to me that as of this year,
Okay, this is gonna be great.
all three of us are as old or older than my bubby was when we met.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are when the three of us met,
Yes. When
We
we
are-
met.
when we met each other,
Yeah.
my memory of who Bubby was
Mhm.
at that point is she was younger than all of us are now.
And she was the grand.
She was the grandmother at the time.
Fascinating.
But just the idea that all three of us, like I think,
Yeah, that's some
But-
perspective right there.
Bubby was always Bubby. She was always the grandmother.
Yeah, she was always the matriarch.
But the fact that she was younger. She was younger than all of us are now.
Did you catch this, Hadhawk? Can't
You're
hear you.
muted. You're muted.
Yes, I do. And yeah, I mean, it makes me think of it is fascinating. And I think one of the things is like right now, my nephews call, like he always says Uncle Adam, right? Uncle Adam,
Yeah.
whatever. So,
Adam. Uncle Adam.
Adam, yeah, and I don't, they don't generally address me as uncle, whatever, but Bubby's always Bubby, and Bubby means
Yeah.
to us, it meant
Yeah.
just grandma. It was just
Yeah.
a word for grandma.
And Bubby means me. No.
Nice.
So in a sense, she never aged because her name never changed.
Right.
It wasn't like, like
Gandalf reference.
she was just always that. And so I don't know, man. That's interesting for sure.
Well, I think
Well,
when my years of Bubbytum come,
Yeah.
I will choose a title as well.
I try to think back of like my memory as a 7-year-old or 8-year-old on that first New Year's Eve.
Of course, we discussed this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, the first New Year's Eve where you got where we all spent.
It was
we all stayed
1980.
over. And
It was a
thinking,
changeover of a decade.
yeah, and thinking, man. So at that point, my memory of her
Mhm.
would be somebody seeing us today. Like,
Yeah. Wow.
like it's the same.
Well, that just means that your parents were absolute kids during
Yeah,
that time, and that's why the party was raging.
right.
Raging.
Yeah, I mean,
beneath us.
my mom wasn't even 30 yet. My mom was not 30
Wow.
during that first New Year's Eve where we all spent together. She was in her 20s.
Wow.
Mookala
Holy
mookala.
F bomb.
Smookala kookala.
Holy. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh,
I'm just
this
gonna-
just coming in.
Holy F bomb.
Oh, you should
Nice.
do a the first F bomb of the show. You should do a screen cameo, my love. We have Jafar online, everybody.
Nice.
Jafar, where you at?
Wait, hold on.
Ew.
Let's do it this way.
Hi-yo.
We can hear her fine.
Maybe she'll be able to hear you this like this. Possibly. Hi, how's the road trip going?
I'm at the top of the hill on my way to the bottom of the hill of our house.
Oh, she's close to home. Tell
You're on the
everybody
air,
where you're
by the
coming
way.
from, Jafar.
I'm coming from Dewey Beach, everyone. Dewey Beach, Delaware. A 3-day fun in the sun exploration of relaxation with some girlfriends.
Nice.
Dewey Beach. I think that was a popular haunt for Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Their
Right.
spot for whom?
Bugs Bunny.
Oh, no, that was Pismo Beach. Pismo Beach.
Pismo Beach, right. Pismo Beach.
And all the clams you can eat.
Yeah, he was
And
a
all
West
the clams
Coaster
that you
for
can
sure.
eat. By the by, I do have a photo as we were pulling out of Dewey Beach and into like Rehoboth Beach on the main drag to come home. There is a restaurant that I had to like read 3 times before I said it out loud and then handed my phone to Hannah and said, take a picture, please. The name was called Krabby Dick's.
That's wonderful, of
That
course.
is beautiful.
And its mascot was a stingray.
That's poor judgment.
Right? I mean, the whole thing is a lesson in what not to do. Anyway,
Agreed.
the monk, I was wondering if the front door was unlocked.
I will double check that. I think I did lock the fort down.
Okay, cool. I'll see you in a minute.
All right, everybody.
All right.
My love. I'll see you in a little
Bye,
bit.
friend.
Whoopity whoop whoop.
All right.
Oopity
I'm gonna
whoop whoop.
roopity roop roop.
Don't let her in.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go let our security force here at the
Let
stronghold.
the dog out and the girl in.
I'll release the hound
Right?
and allow the Jafar.
Right?
I'll be
Back.
something. I can
Oh.
never remember how that quote ends.
Now, I think it was lost in history. I don't think anybody knows.
No, something
one
good
of
though.
It's one of those.
Something epic.
Definitely one of those lost in a battle of Thermopylae situations.
Thermopylae. Is that a place in Greece?
Yeah, that was some sort of old. I don't remember. Wasn't that something with
Something.
maybe like the 300
Volcanoes and
No,
some
the
type of
300 or
deity.
something like the
oh yeah.
Spartans or something.
We are.
Sparta.
Yeah, that the scene they slowed it down and sold a lot of tickets with that one little clip, man.
Zack
People
Snyder,
love it.
man. Zack Snyder.
Yeah, Zack Ryder.
Zack Snyder just taking other people's works and reworking them into movies and making people angry. Uh-oh.
I don't know what
Hey.
happened right there. I
This,
didn't mean to do that. Meant to do that.
oh, there you
What's
go.
what did he did more of that?
That's all he's done as far as I know, man. I don't think he has never directed anything original.
Wow.
Like he did 300, he did Watchmen, he did the Justice League, he did Dawn of the Dead, the remake of Dawn of the Dead. I don't know if he's ever made a movie that wasn't written that had some sort of cult following. I don't know if he's ever done that. But he's made a career of it. I know he pissed Dave, our Dave, Armor Dave Gee, he hates fucking Zack Snyder. Hates him. Did your volume disappear on us? No, okay, you're there. Maybe say something?
Hello?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Dave, our Dave hates him. Fucking hates him. Like hates him with a passion. Like you would be hard pressed to you'd be like, dude, we're gonna meet Zack Snyder, don't punch him. Like he hates him. He hates him. He hates him.
Wow.
Nice. Dave's too he's too, I don't know, he's too liberal with the hate. As far as Dave goes. Like, I'm comfortable with my hate. If I hate someone, you earned it in some way or another. Dave jumps right to burning people down. I want to set that fucker on fire. Yeah, he jumps to that in a hurry. But I don't think he really does. I don't think that if you really delved into it, I'll bet you that I am more willing to set more people on fire than Dave is. But Dave says it a lot more than I do. He'll say he's ready to set a lot more people on fire, but I bet you he wouldn't do it. If I tell you I would set somebody on fire, I would set somebody on fucking fire.
Yeah,
I
right. You wait until you're really ready to light the freaking match.
Oh yeah,
until you're ready to douse the gasoline and then light the match. He's like, he'll make the statement before he's even doused the gasoline.
It's like a fantasy, it's that fantasy aspect of it. It's like, oh, if you think in a fantasy, I hate this person enough, I'd love to set him on fire, and it's a way to get out some aggression and hatred because it's a fantasy scenario. Same thing that people have with so many sexual fantasies. They believe, oh, I would love to be this or that. But then if they're confronted with it in real life, they're like, I'm not so comfortable with that all of a sudden. It's just that fantasy aspect of it. So I think that he jumps to that fantasy rage part.
Well,
which is fine. It's good. It's a good way to explore fantasy.
Yeah, that's totally fine. And I think he does a really good job of staying even keel so much in his life that I think that it makes sense that he'd have a harder and faster swing on the back end.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a total.
He works corporate job. I don't know. I don't know what his deal is, but
oh yeah, no, yeah, he does. He works I couldn't do it. I would have, the little 4 days that I experienced last week is what Dave has every day. On top of that, you've got a 2-hour total commute, a 1-hour drive in the morning and a 1-hour drive, which is a nightmare.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of lifetime. That's a lot of time you're not getting compensated for.
Our society determined we only have 24 hours in a day. All right. You got 2 hours driving, that's 1/12 of your day already. You're talking 8.5% of your day every day. 8.5% of your day every day is taken up with driving. To a place you don't want to go and that you can't get away from at the end of the day. Yeah, that's a nightmare.
Yeah, man, it's not cool, especially, and then the insult to injury, the salt on the wound is after 2020 and people were forced to keep their businesses afloat and acknowledge that there is a work from home possibility, but we just don't want you to have that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the insult. It's like, wait a minute. You're telling me that it worked in 2020, but you're not going to give us any of it. We have to go back to this being in the brick and mortar location.
5 days a week.
Yeah, like you're not going to give us any reprieve. Fuck you, right?
Fuck you.
Well, why doesn't he look for other jobs?
He's looking. He's looking.
Is he? Good for him.
He's got a good
I mean,
salary,
at least he's
you know? I
looking.
mean,
That honestly, like in that itself is a pressure valve release, just to look and say
yeah.
there are fucking options. Like when I look, because like I've been forced to look now too, and it's just nice to see like, wait a minute, what else would I do if I'm not doing what I'm doing now?
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah,
like
he's been there for a while. He's got a decent salary. He's got the medical coverage.
they suck.
And now he's got he's got like a month of vacation every year, which is still limited by the world standards, but not bad from American standards.
No, that's not bad at all.
And extra days off on top of that with holidays and whatnot. So it's just a thing of like, I got to find something that it isn't going to be another grind, or how much difference does it make if I can do this from, so he's definitely not happy.
Wait, what is his job description right now?
He is technically a salesman.
Okay. That's a technically,
Yeah.
I've seen some of the job. I just made a note recently. There's a new terminology, like a PC term that I see people advertising for that doesn't say sales rep anymore. Businesses don't advertise for something. It says something along the lines of, and I can't quite remember, but it's like business development representative or something like this. It's not sales anymore. It's like business development.
And that's totally what Dave is, because he's not cold calling anybody. Like, he doesn't call people. It's all like, hey, these are our accounts. Those people call us because they're looking for this. And then I talk to them to let them know, well, we can give you this much for that, or we can give you this sort of steel for that. But if you buy this much more, you get it for, so he's doing that sort of thing. And then letting them know, hey, we have new materials, we have new whatever. Oh, could you send me out information on that? Sure. So that's totally his thing. It's more of a making sure that the clients they already have, they've got other travel outside Salesforce that go out to people who are not currently working with them and try to win their business. Then once those outside people win their business, they get transferred over to Dave's office.
Okay.
And then Dave's people, David.
So I mean, he could, words are important, and he could totally leverage that. And what he needs to do on his resume, and you should, help him get creative with that. To say, I'm a closer, because in sales, I can tell you, I've done a lot of sales through my day. Closers are needed. So the fact that he is on whether he is or isn't, right? Like, you have a chance to prove yourself, like get yourself in the new position. But the fact that you're like, there's people out there, like, what's harder, recruiting the business or
ding dang do.
Hey, Monk,
Ding, ding, ding.
you're back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
That's all over my computer.
The computer, fuck a dick.
Oh, you just erased it. Now you put it back. Hey, there.
Glitch.
Zip zap.
First F-bomb of the show.
I tried to show you the foam from my frothy head
I
of
saw
my
that.
beer that I just switched to.
It
And
was.
it bloop right in my keyboard. There is definitely beer on my motherboard right now. And
Q-tips.
that's not good.
Get a Q-tip.
Yeah, Q-tip.
Q-tip.
Get Q-tip. Put the
Get the whole
one-
tribe.
Put the one Q-tip, one end of the Q-tip in your butt.
Oh fuck! I
Right?
totally. This is
In
fucking
the
everything
anus.
up. No.
It's gotten worse.
No.
What
no,
are we
it's not.
watching?
Oh,
The train wreck?
It went into my Rowan, my producer fucking.
You're Rowan and Atkinson
Because it was frozen and it's partially frozen and they don't behave well. So there's this fucking
bad behavior.
foamy.
The foam of the bad behavior.
So what's it? What's do we have any more update yet on the Jafar plans? I know there was something going on the 14th, where she said she was going out with girlfriends or something for dinner, and then
Correct. Yeah, you'll have to talk to her directly about
Okay.
all up the time management aspect. It is evening time, and into karaoke, which I think is like at 11 p.m.
where's that at? Do we know?
Again, we do, and I think it was shared in that feed.
Okay.
But go to the source,
Okay.
please.
Okay.
Because again, speak to my handler.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time because, dude, again, she will be Bubby's age
Right. Right.
when I first met Bubby.
Right. Yeah. She'll be- Right.
No, that's actually
she-
not even
yeah,
true.
No. She's still a little younger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she might be Terry's age when you graduated high school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When I graduated high school, Mom would have been
well, she was
30.
20.
She was 39 when I graduated high school.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. That's Jafar right now.
Yeah, she was 39 when I graduated. Yep.
Perspective, which is really interesting because it was about a decade ago that I came to the conclusion that when I was a child, all of the village elders were not humans. They were completely different. They had no relative communicative skills to the land that I came from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were just of another alien race. Like they just weren't human.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? None of the conversations were honest.
Right.
They were of a point of view completely up from another planet.
Yeah.
Nothing related to the world that I was submerged in. But that's how I kind of looked at them, and it's weird. Is it just me?
No, I mean that
Is
was
it just me?
that's
It's him,
100%.
right?
That was 100% Dolly. I mean, there was no.
Completely non-related.
It was like, how do you? I have to
How was
do
his
what I can
perspective?
to manage my existence with this person.
Well done, by the
Yeah.
way, BB. And
Yeah.
I saw the ebb and flow of all of that.
Oh God,
you know,
yeah.
And I saw how you survived it.
And so
Flow of all of what?
surviving Dolly.
Oh,
Right. Yeah. But
Um,
I was just saying that in our youth, in our childhood, I had a perspective.
yeah, that was a tough neck. That was. I'm sorry.
that elders
That was-
were from a different planet. Like
I heard that. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
for sure, and yeah, that was definitely a unique. But the Dolly experience. I mean, from Brian's perspective,
Mhm.
there was definitely a power play that was that
On a
that,
daily
she
basis.
lost.
And
She
you rose
lost.
above.
Yeah. I mean, and she tried, didn't she? She tried to pull the fucking trump card and fucking be queen bitch and be like, what else are you gonna do without me, right?
And you were like,
That's what
well,
it came down to.
let me. You're like, you know what? I've heard you say that so many times.
Let me
I'm gonna
explore
work
my
it.
options.
I'm gonna work on that.
Let me solve that equation you're putting out there again and again.
Yeah, I mean, I totally credit her with my no what ifs motto in life. Because that's what she lived on.
Right.
Like she existed on a what if basis that was constantly, what she based all of her decisions on. No, you can't do that because what if this happens?
fear.
I don't know. I'll figure
Fear.
it out if it.
Fear.
What if it doesn't happen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, at that point,
The opposite of fear.
I can
Bliss.
see how that would drive you into your percentages, your math as well, because you're like,
Point.
you're arguing a 2% likelihood. So,
Yeah.
okay, I get it. I'm not like, I'm smarter than you. Like, I'm smarter than you not to fall for this shit. Like, you're
Yeah,
showing me a
certainly.
1 in 1 million fucking possibility that I'm like, oh, I'm never going to get on a plane because what if aliens land and blow up the world instead, right? Like, it's an
Sure.
unlikely
What if
possibility.
an octopus
that
is
you're
the
trying to, like,
pilot that day that
control.
you got on a plane?
Yes.
What if? You
Yeah,
know, and the thing is too is at some point, you kind of started seeing that it was coming from, and this harkens back to a conversation we had earlier about ad hoc somebody coming at him, where they are expounding on their own fears of their imminent. At some point, you're not going to need me, and
Right.
I need this. Period. You know,
Yeah.
and that's really what she was coming to a conclusion of, is that like she had no other options in life, and she couldn't lose that gig.
Yeah, but that was the wrong way to go about keeping
No
it.
Oh,
shit.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
No
that's,
shit,
that's,
dude.
that's the
Yeah.
point.
That's the
It
ignorance.
becomes a
Yeah.
control issue. So
Yeah.
out of her fear, it's projected upon,
And
if I
part of
can
that,
cause more fear in you,
yeah.
It's like
then I
every
win.
bad relationship you're in. You know what
Yeah,
I
and
mean? It's
I'm
like,
sure part of that is
it's poisonous relationship.
I'm sure part of that is a generational thing. Yeah, I mean there was definitely there was a time when people did not get divorced. It didn't matter what anybody was doing to anybody.
the
No.
church didn't allow it.
It was
No.
the 60s. We had to put up with each other, even
We
though
had
we
to be
wanted
the
to murder
40s,
each other.
the 30s. I mean,
It was the 1700s.
yeah. It was that you don't know. No, that's not even a possibility. You always remember that part. Remember, till death. Do you part? Remember that?
Mhm.
That's what you said. You said it.
I'm
I
holding
heard
you to it.
I heard you say it. I'm holding you to it. You and I till death. Now, plot.
That's why
I own
could,
you.
That's why I could put you into a pyre.
Right. That's why.
That's-
Yeah. Look, I punched you in the face. All right. This is part of the.
But
the
I
war.
didn't kill you.
But I
So
didn't
we're
kill
good,
you.
Kill
right?
you for better or for worse. This is part of the.
This is the
for
worst. Now
This
This
is
is
the
a
worst.
little bit of the worst. But
We
if you get my
said for better. You agreed for better or for worse.
You've agreed for worse.
It's
I'm
not my
trying-
fault you agreed for this.
It's not my fault. You won't get
You
better.
basically asked for the punch in the face.
It's not my fault. You won't get better and agreed on worse.
Agreed on worse. What do you want me to do? How else am I going to teach you anything if it's not a punch? Everyone knows.
Everyone knows punches are effective.
Punches are effective. How to
There's
do
a
this
whole sport based around it.
Right.
It's science.
It's
They call it
boxing.
pugilism.
They call it pugilism. You know what pugilism means? It means Jesus in Arabic.
In Arabic.
And just never forget, I'm helping you,
Right?
not the other way
You,
around.
and you
Jesus.
need me
Yeah.
to help you.
What are you going to do without me? With no
Yeah.
more of these. No more of these fists coming at you.
Huh? Huh?
Huh?
I'm helping you defend yourself.
You're not going to know what to do. But yeah, dude. I mean, that was good
That was
times.
that.
Good times.
That was something to overcome in life.
Abuse, yeah, it's like there's physical abuse and there's mental abuse, and the abuse is from the abuser is usually from their own insecurities that again are projected out because they, like they're trying to manipulate you into being their subject in somehow. It's a fucked up scenario, but it plays out over and over and over again. And if
Oh
you-
yeah, I think I was 16, around 16 or so, when Dolly attempted to explain to me, or no, not to explain, it attempted to put forth to me that I was the reason. I was the reason that she never got married again.
Oh, not because she was a lesbian, huh?
Yeah, yeah. That
and
I was the
completely
reason
unattractive.
that she could have gotten
As
another
a
man
feminine.
if
As
she
a
had.
human being, she was
Yeah,
unattractive
As a human
person.
being. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
physically.
yeah. That if she had
Although
not,
there was
if she had not sacrificed all of her own life
Oh yes.
for me, she would have been she would have been in a situation where she could have had a man.
And
remember
that was going into her
even-
subconscious to
even at
justify
16,
her
She
own.
did not want a
insecurity shit.
man.
when you were
and then she
16, I thought to
projected it.
myself, what? Like,
Right. Because she couldn't
how,
accept
why?
herself that she didn't really want that.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
That was
Society.
a.
Man, that's
That was
fucked
what.
up.
Oh yeah, dude, that whole thing was. And then
It
when
was a
when-
power
As you were 16 and becoming a man.
yeah.
That was the
Yeah, I mean, god damn, yeah. Like, I mean, yeah, barely, right? Like 16 is pretty fucking young, and
no, but you have
This
all
is-
the parts to become, you know.
yeah,
you've only been jerking
was
off
effed
for a
up.
few years at that point. I mean,
Only 16 years.
probably at most 7 years at that point.
At most
I
7 and a half.
remember, and you know, we like part of my thing as a bigger brother, yeah, you know, and
Okay.
was the team
my
was to
thing.
bully him into understanding of things. So I understand both
Bully,
sides.
bullying of knowledge.
But here's the thing. I remember joking with you, BB, about
Figure out ways that we could choke Todd out. It just
the eye popper.
the eye popper.
Thunderdome. This is BB's Thunderdome.
yeah. I mean, that was
Yeah,
me
go back
trying
to
No,
your-
yeah, go back. Where were you
that
guys?
was me trying to win your affections in some twisted sorts.
You
Uh,
Is this not
I knew it would entertain you,
entertainment?
so I was entertaining.
Yes, as a
the
gladiator.
bigger. But no, I remember at one point being like 10 years old, and Dolly like being like 40 or whatever, and going, "Watch this," and she's like, "Hey, Brian, I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna leave you
Oh God, that fuck
on the road again, huh?"
Oh yeah.
And that was her trigger for you
Mhm.
because
Oh, yeah.
it worked
Yeah.
one time that you got
That's right.
physically upset,
Yeah,
and she remembered that
that's right.
and used
Right,
that
right.
as a fucking knife. And then she bragged in front of me, one of your, like, I'm your age. And I
Right,
was
right,
like,
yeah.
well, that's pretty fucked up.
It's
And I was like 10 or 12 or, you know, no,
Mhm.
no,
Right, right.
I was a kid, you know, I was 14 maybe. But we were
Right.
young. We were young.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I was like 10, bro. I mean,
We were
I-
old to see
think
through
maybe
that bullshit. It was
I
a
don't
trigger.
really remember. I
It
just
was
remember
like
thinking-
she needed attention. Bullshit. You know what I mean? And it was
But
that
so
on
we
the
would-
road
we
again.
know- but to lighten that up, you know, I would tease you about that, and
Tease
and
me
it
about it?
was only in
BB.
brotherly love, you know, brotherly love. But to let you know that, like, basically, it's laugh. You got to laugh about that shit. Like, it's fuck her. Like, that was laughable. But I totally saw through the bullshit. But
Alright,
she tried
alright.
She tried to leverage that.
Yeah.
Oh
You
yeah.
remember
I mean,
You
she
remember
wrote that card until
Yeah, you remember
I-
she would
I
do that.
I remember that. Oh yeah. She rode that card till the end. I mean, that was the last card she played. You know,
Wow.
like that was the last card where there was some. I don't even remember specifically what the argument was about, but it was in the early, you know, when I was 20 or 21. Like, I just met Karen on Q-Link, and Adam was certain we were going to hate each other, and warned me against allowing her to visit.
All right.
Yeah.
I was wrong. I was wrong. I don't.
He's trying to help
I don't
you, man.
recall saying don't even let her visit, but it just seemed improbable to me. And I mean, in my defense, it was improbable, but
It was a new
unlikely,
thing,
but
right?
I was
I mean,
certainly wrong.
it was a totally new thing. I mean, this was some stranger met on the internet. What the fuck are you talking about?
That is Predator.
Right, that's
Predator
fucking-
Fucking
play.
the internet, but he's certainly coming to kill you.
Right. It's totally
know.
different. Yeah. But
He's from the future.
it was in the early days.
She's from the
Massachusetts-
future.
Salem,
She's future Dolly
she's
coming to kill you.
Massachusetts is code word for future.
She's
She's
Dolly
clearly a
from the
witch.
past
Are you-
future.
Really? You're not
Really?
seeing this?
No, see,
Salem, You're not seeing this?
Yeah, seeing
All the
this.
fucking signs.
She pentagrams you on the big room with your blood in
Right.
a pentagram
It's your
with
fault.
you in the middle. And I just don't
Your
say,
fault,
I
dude.
told you so.
Right.
You're saying,
Well, I
don't
just
call
hope-
me.
But yeah, that was the last card Dolly ever played. Was there was some kind of argument. I can't remember if she was. I don't remember what the argument was on, but it was something about.
I'll go on the road again, Brian.
It
I'll
wasn't.
go. I'll go.
That's what it was. I can't remember what started it. It was. We were talking about something. I think it was either Karen coming back for another visit after the first one, or it might even have something to do with ad hoc. I don't remember. It was something with when we were writing. I don't remember. It was something weird.
Oh,
And-
really?
Oh yeah, I can't remember what it was though. And she pulled out this. But you know what? Maybe it would just be better if I leave. And I had gotten to a point in my overall existence where I thought I'm fine with my parents being here and helping me with whatever. And I don't know where this Karen person thing is going to go. If
And
anywhere.
I'm sure I'm totally fed up with your bullshit.
I'm totally fed up with this. And she said, you know what? Maybe it would just be better if I leave. And my response to her was, maybe it would. Maybe it would. And she just, like, what? And she's like,
that thriller video moment.
and she was like, and she said, what did you say? Yeah. And she was like, what did you say? And I said,
Everyone's a zombie.
maybe it would. I
Beating of
don't
the
know.
bullet.
Maybe it would. I don't know.
The boss.
And she's like,
Beating
and then she kicked me out of her room in the back. She was like, "What? Why don't you leave? Why don't you leave the room now?"
So why don't you leave? See what
Yeah,
you do when I'm.
So I was like, "All right," and I left the room. As I was leaving the room, I got into my room, and she was like, "Close the door behind you." And I said, "Oh, I am," and I closed the door.
Oh, there's the writer. There's the writer in
It
you
was,
right
it
there.
was great. It was a great ending. But that was it.
Oh, I am.
He literally she would walk through the
Close
room
the
and-
door and turn the page.
Yeah, like from that day on, she would walk through the room and not speak to me. Like she wouldn't say a word. She would just like walk through. It was
Now,
insane.
she was doing it as a strike, but did you feel it as like, oh, thank goodness?
Maybe I don't even remember. It wasn't. I didn't feel it as a blow. I just didn't care anymore. I think at that point,
Right.
like I had gotten to a point where I was just like,
I'm-
what you in my whatever sociopathic or psychopathic brainwaves that I have, I acknowledged you no longer provide to me anything that is worth this. I don't know. I don't care what that means to your life, but I know that what you are offering me,
Is pain.
the ways that you
Suffering.
the
That's
ways that you benefit
brutal
my
way to say it.
life in any way, no longer outweigh the disparaging points.
Mhm.
So it's just no longer of interest. And once you reach that point, I've always been, you guys remember
Of
my
course.
cousins and all that. I
Yeah.
mean, when you get if
The what?
my cousins,
The cousins.
Oh, cousin.
yeah,
Yeah.
cousins, uncle, and all that. I mean, it's
Yeah,
always
no
been the way.
benefit.
My brain has always worked that way on a base level. Is that if someone's my
Parasite.
if someone's level of depression or anger or whatever that they instill upon me at any point begins to outweigh my feelings of happiness and enjoyment or direct benefits in some way that they provide to me, then I don't care about you at all anymore. At all. At all. I
Cut
don't-
off.
Yeah, like it's over. And you can try to rebalance the scales. You can try to take away. Usually, I don't think it's a thing of anybody trying to take away the downside. They're too that's too inbred into them already. They might try to up the benefit that they provide, but that's really hard to rebalance that scale in my world once it tilts in the wrong direction. But yeah, so that was the day. That's when it happened.
Some people call that self-worth, and other people will call that ego, and being too big for your britches. But
How
that's
dare you
bullshit.
stand up for yourself?
How dare you? Don't
How
you know
dare
the
you?
pecking order?
Yeah.
The
Fucking
point is, it's
egocentric
self-worth.
fucking asshole.
It's self-worth, and you can go into the science of this. You can go into the quantum science of it, and the thought that thoughts have an echo of all the molecules around you. You know what I mean? Like your belief system actually creates your perspective, and man, it's always been hugely, profoundly effective. It affected me very much when you went through those things, BB. Because I've missed.
I wanted you to kill her.
I've missed.
I wanted you to ask me to kill her for you
every day.
The only reason I didn't was
didn't
because
ask
of the
me to
sour
kill
beans.
her.
Right.
It's very Game of Thrones, but no. In all honesty,
If it wasn't for the sour beans and the Texas hash,
Right?
yeah.
The
Oh, the
Strombolis.
Strombolis.
I would've killed her for you.
It was the Strombolis, the Texas hash, and the hot sandwiches.
Oh, the
Oh,
Strombolis
hot
were
sandwiches,
fucking
yeah.
amazing. Holy shit. And
Strombola,
the hot
Strombola.
sandwiches were so weird and good. With
Yeah.
the egg and the God, I forgot about the hot sandwiches.
She was
And
poisoned.
ham.
The egg.
And egg.
The
What
egg,
else was in
yeah,
there?
Weirdest things ever.
I haven't had a hot sandwich. I totally forgot
I
about the hot
remember,
sandwiches.
man.
You wouldn't have mentioned them right now. They were
Yeah.
out of my memory, dude. Completely. That's interesting.
Yeah, but I do think of those every once in a while. I'll get a smell of the green pepper with that dough and the grease.
Oh.
And that's the Stromboli, man, like that. SCTV and Stromboli's.
She did a good job of rolling that. I think she got bread dough, and she rolled it really thin.
Yeah.
And she did a good job of keeping it really thin and like that shit. And like it was a lot of
it was just cheese,
ham, hard
pepperoni.
pepperoni.
Was there ham and hard salami in that?
Was there ham and hard salami in it?
There was
There
ham.
was definitely ham. Definitely
Capicola,
ham.
maybe.
I think there was hard salami as well. I think it was ham,
green
hard salami, and
pepper,
pepperoni, green
cheese.
pepper, onion, and mozzarella.
Man.
It was It was an onion, probably.
Really?
I don't know. It was really
it
good.
Oh
She
yeah,
had, she had a
there's
few
onion.
animal recipes. That kept her in-
Decades. It's been decades.
Yeah.
Decades.
It
And
was
we're
worth
still-
decades of abuse to taste to experience this. Thank you,
Right?
I don't even know what I was saying at that point.
It was worth the decades of abuse.
And I don't think she ever, like, after she left.
My laptop's going to shut down in under 5 minutes, just so you know.
Yeah.
After
My
she left,
laptop's gonna shut you down in less than 5 minutes.
as soon as this
doubt
beer,
Hey,
Stand up for yourself, ad hoc.
dude, why don't you get a plug? Where's your plug?
I will. I just got to walk away.
Oh, you don't want you're just making excuses to leave us? Well, we don't need you anyway. Nothing. I let him know. I told him how it was. He's gone now. Just me and you now, Brian. We never needed him anyway.
No, we certainly didn't.
Let me just get him off the screen.
I'm trying to get the.
F you, monk.
Boom.
Boom. It's done. We don't need you. We don't need anybody. Sorry, I had to cry. I had to cry for a little bit. Woo!
That's legit.
That's how it goes down, man. That's how it goes down. When you do battle with other people, oftentimes you're doing battle with your own ego. That's the takeaway, folks. Viewers, everybody out there on our Discord server who can't see us but can hear us, put that in your pocket. Walk away with it. Later.
Wash your laundry. Forget it's in there. Bring it out.
Find it.
Find it sopping wet. Try to find it sopping wet. Try to decipher what you wrote because it's all speared up now.
Dry it out.
Runny.
Under the
Run it
sun.
out. Yep,
Under the
dry it
blazing
out.
sun. Find a pipe. Put it in there. Smoke it.
Smoke it up.
And see if it gets inside of you.
All right.
That's the way.
Right. That's the truth right there.
Or you could just listen to our words and get it inside your head that way.
Good try.
Yeah, that's good. And of course,
Why is this running somewhere? Let's see.
I don't know. Why are we still here? What's going
I
on?
think
It's 12 a.m.
we're waiting for yeah, it's 12 a.m. That's right.
Yeah, I'm surprised he came back, honestly, the first time. I thought for sure they were.
It's gonna be one of those.
He took a masturbation break, and by masturbation, I mean sex, and by sex, I mean with his wife, and he's back.
Boom.
Bada boom, bada
Shalalabaloo.
bing.
Shalabaloo.
Shalabalabaloo.
But what I was going to say
Welcome back.
was that I don't think
T-Monk.
I'm pretty certain she never let it go. Like she never,
We still on Dolly?
you know, after she left.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, we were just
Yeah.
pretty much talking about other stuff while you were gone. And she
we were
never.
talking
let
about
it go.
you. You have to watch it on the replay, though.
We were.
Okay.
We were talking.
Most
about
people do talk about me when I'm not there. That's my imagination, my ego.
Yeah,
That's my fear and ego.
My fear and ego. right?
Everyone's
Fear and
talking
ego,
about
hand
me.
in hand. Yeah. Fear and ego, hand in hand. That's it.
I'll just
Put it in, pal. Good luck.
Good luck.
Yep.
You two will do battle for the eternity inside of my brain.
Yes. I do want to say one last thing, but I'll let you finish. I should anyway, BB, because I walked into this. But I do want to put one last other oppressive mindset that was taught to me
Nice.
directly through the one called Dali. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, yeah, the fish. I don't think she ever let it go because years later, after she had left,
Mm.
and when she
Going
was
to
not-
Sheets and driving past her and her new lover's place. They wouldn't acknowledge us. I remember that.
oh, I don't even remember at all.
Yeah.
I don't
But
remember that.
what
You
I
remember where she lived? She lived like right at in Tut's old place, the old
Yeah.
Mr. G's. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And what was her
Oh,
best
yeah,
friend's
'cause
name?
When you said Sheets, yeah, it was down on 3rd Avenue instead of.
And
Oh,
her
it was
best
not.
friend was
I don't know.
it was something like Dolly.
The one that was across the street, or
Janie. I don't know.
Dorothy? Dorothy?
Dorothy. Oh, Dorothy.
It was a different Dorothy. It wasn't.
It
that-
was a
I'm
different,
a different
Dorothy.
Dorothy.
Yeah, it was.
But I'm
different-
I'm
still-
old and Dorothy.
But you know, it was her lover, I'm guessing.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I
But-
hope so.
Whenever she was dying,
I do. Oh, that's right.
Kristen,
Yeah.
yeah, would go to see her and all that.
I'm just going to bring you a little bit of crack and a little morphine. It's going to be good.
You
We'll
know.
do it together.
And Kristen would come to me for multiple times during those few months and say, "Hey, Brian, you should go see her." And I was like,
She should come see me.
"No, I was like, why should I go see her? Like, why?" And she's like,
Guilt.
"Well,
Why else?
and she's like, "Well, yeah, I mean,
You-
she,
Clearly
You
don't
did-
understand guilt, do you?
Yeah.
Hello, guilt.
Hello.
Did Jesus teach you nothing?
Did Jesus teach you nothing, Brian?
I'm not sure."
Did they,
I should.
you didn't attend Catholic school. Oh, yeah, that's right. You went to public school.
Oh, no wonder Jesus hates
Yeah.
No
you.
wonder.
Yeah.
Jesus
And
hates
she
you.
said, and I told Chris, I said, how's this? You tell Dolly that if she apologizes to me,
Oh, yeah.
I'll come visit her.
Nice, Remy.
And she wouldn't do it.
Oh!
Yeah, she would not apologize.
On her death.
I have nothing to
Fucking held
apologize
a
for.
grudge. Dude, that was her final fucking bid for
Mhm.
control.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
she fucking couldn't let it go. So you called her out,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and that was and it was clearly
Uh-huh.
about control.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now you have to live with her death guilt. Good job, B.
No, we need to celebrate her death.
I just celebrated the
Fucking
Maybe that was
celebrate
going through her head. Though, is what I'm
le-
saying. Is like,
that was her.
you'll
Yeah,
see
that
when
was-
I die.
Right. Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. That is totally her logic. Right. From her perspective, that was her logic. Right.
Whereas my
You'll
logic
see when I
is-
die that I was right.
Yeah,
Because
whereas my-
I
my-
won't. Because he won't be able to look in my eyes and see the true fear.
Yeah, whereas my logic is
Wow.
I just hope she died early enough that I can wind up outliving how many years she spent on this planet. So that I can
Have you done it?
no. She was in her late 70s, I think. When she, or
Oh,
early-
oh,
early
okay,
years
cool.
when she died. Yeah, so I still got to go for another 30 some years, I think.
Oh my gosh.
But I can do it. I'll do it out of spite.
If we learn nothing from this lesson, we
Hey,
do
hey,
anything out of spite.
60, but now I do.
All
Let's we're gonna do it together. Let's outlive Dolly. And
right? Yes,
Uh,
exactly.
teach Jesus a lesson and her at the same time.
Jesus, lessons of Jesus.
But you were going to contribute something there, Monk.
I'm just kidding. I
Oh.
didn't mean to throw Jesus in there. He did
Right.
nothing. He didn't
Yeah,
contribute
she
to
had
this.
nothing.
He didn't
do with
contribute
that.
at all.
He had nothing to do with her.
Yeah, we'll keep
But,
this. We'll keep him out of this.
We've all outlived Jesus already, so
Oh yeah, dude. That was the 33.
33.
we already got him. We already got him checkmarked.
Yeah, him.
Him, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, for all of you out there, Jesus died at the age of 33 because Jesus is the symbol of the Christ consciousness. The human being that was Jesus, or Jesus, or actually Yeshua, who we've actually deemed as Jesus, died at 33 because there are 33 columns to the spine leading up to the highest chakra, where you actually align and alleviate yourself from the mortal coil. That is the mathematical symbolism. Thank you. Good night. No. But anyway, no, the memory that I refer to is I remember
He wasn't
going to the Knights of Columbus. No, it was we had moved from Johnstown at that point, and we were coming back in town to hang out, but we were bringing friends from Hershey to Johnstown to go to Rumors, and there was a beautiful black girl that I was dancing with, that I was interested in, and the word got back to Dolly, and her telling me, a 17-year-old, 16-year-old,
probably.
whatever, that they are not like you. They are completely different than you, and you should not be cohabitating with them, because she went into something crazy, about like, something about
human sperm.
no, no, it was what the fuck?
That would have been good.
What disease? What disease? Something.
cell?
They get sick of anemia, and white
Think of
people
sickle
don't.
cell anemia. Do you want that for your children?
So
You
they're
wanna expose
obviously you obviously want nothing to do with them, because they are inhuman, essentially. She was saying,
Yeah.
like how I wish I could remember her exact words, but yeah, I remember looking at her like, oh my good, and she was like irate.
Right. She did not have a long trip to irate at any given day.
Yeah, but I just remember her like wagging me, that I was shame
Yeah, you were
for
missing
finding somebody that had different pigment,
something. Right.
fascinating and beautiful,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that my children were doomed. Like, I danced with her.
All right.
She was wonderful.
Yeah. Well, fortunately,
I
you found a
remember that.
nice
Black
Irish
girl.
girl though.
It
To
was
procreate with.
so thankfully she led me on that path, the whitest of white,
You can thank
clear
Dolly for
as
that. Yeah.
clear as Jafar would put it.
All right.
So
Yeah.
white she's clear.
See, obviously that got into your subconscious, and
Right. But would you like to hear something interesting?
no, not really.
The name Scotland stems from an Egyptian princess. There was an Egyptian princess that traveled in that direction and created and owned that land. So the name of the Scots stems from their heritage, their bloodline is Egyptian.
Huh. Well, they bred that out quick.
Yep. Well, I think it's 99-1, but nevertheless, percentage-wise. But nevertheless, that's their country is actually named after an Egyptian princess.
What
Scotland.
Do we
country?
know?
Scotland
Hmm.
has ties to Egypt.
Do we know the name of the princess? Or?
Her name was Scotty Scoddington, McScott.
Yeah. Right.
Nobody knew that.
It's
Nobody knew
Scotty.
that.
Before now.
It was Bones.
Nice.
Yeah. Nah, you can research. Do your own research.
Do your own research, right? Yeah, that's always the best.
Believe your own research. I believe what I fell across on YouTube anyway.
I gotta tell you guys, every Wednesday, getting ready for this show, I get giddy, and I think of how much I love you guys.
Yeah.
Because it's been half of a century, and I still I'm like, it's like my mood uplifts just to think I'm hanging out with you guys. I'm not sick of you yet. And so that's pretty amazing. And you outlasted everybody else.
Because outside of this stream, I'm literally sick of everybody that I don't hang out with anymore. If I'm still hanging out with them, I haven't been hanging out with them as long as you. You know why? Because they made me sick.
Sickness. This
I tell
sickness.
ya.
Mental sickness.
So,
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's like I said the other day, the other
I
stream.
hear
I
this.
don't remember what it was. It was a stream or something where it might have been a Facebook post or something from where I saw some like, whatever, younger individuals that were in their 30s, or they weren't that young. They were in their 30s or something, and they were like, "Oh man, you know what? We've been friends for 11 years. You know how tight we are because we've been friends." And I was thinking to myself, wait a second, you guys met each other after high school. So, like, it wasn't like you guys were friends when you were young or even
pure.
or even in high school. You met each other within the last decade, basically, and you're still friends. And they were, like, using this as some sort of milestone as to how you could. And I thought to myself, is this a thing? Is that a thing now? Like, is a friendship that lasts 10 years amazing in the world of today? That,
Well,
oh man, we're still friends after 10 years. Like, is that the golden
it's a
grail?
litmus test. It is a
I could
measurement.
chime in on this. Yeah.
And the fact that we've 3x that, 4x that at this point, over 4x, going on 5x, is just a testament to it's something special.
Yeah, I think we all met when we were, I was still in, theta, you know what I mean? I was 5, for Christ's sakes. My brain waves, and, we were all in that very dreamlike state, and we aligned at that point by playing games about being in the dreamlike state. You know what I mean? Like that was our first playground, was D&D in a way, and playing, and we just were able to manage that same childhood creativity our entire lives together. You know what I mean? Like we found that magical pill of childhood, and we just kept adapting it to every stage of our lives. But as far as judging other people, as far as like, you know, knowing each other for 11 years, man, more people have more access to each other's day-to-day lives now more than ever. There are a lot more reasons to realize that somebody isn't worth the long haul in advance at this point.
Uh-huh.
And so there's that aspect that is very challenging to those growing up in this. And the fucked up part is much of the stuff online is extreme and superficial algorithms of curiosity that can be branded as identity. And so, you know, man, I actually, as much as I am amazed at all the access that the youth has to the knowledge of the planet, the counterpart of that is that the rest of the planet has access to their algorithm of growing out of ignorance, and could be judged in that same vein. It's probably horribly difficult.
So you think that there's a theory of some sort there that the internet as it exists today, social media in general, is naturally shortening friendships?
I think in this, I think it's shortening the friendships of locality and growing the friendships of mentality.
Okay, so that basically it was Gary's theory back in the day.
Well, this is you and K-Rock.
Right. Yeah, the theory of Gary back in the day, which makes our history even more
fucking unique.
But that, you know, Gary's perception of the world and the rise of the internet was, you know, this changes everything for everybody. In that he said, do you know how many people in my life, meaning his life, you know, have existed and literally not met anybody outside of a 60-mile radius? Yeah. You know, like their entire life.
Perspective.
At this point, you know, he was saying this.
Wow.
He was saying this.
That's crazy to think about. You know, but it's literally true.
Yeah, he was saying this in 92 or 93.
He was born in the late 40s, early 50s.
Yeah. He was born in 52.
There you go.
So he would have been 41 or so at the time. So he'd been 41 years old. Yeah.
Never fucking drove outside of
a decade ago.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, never. Yeah, he said, you know how many people I know that have never met anybody outside of a 60-mile radius?
Perspective.
You know,
they grew up in Johnstown. Like, I've been to Pittsburgh, I've been to State College, but a couple times. That was about it.
That's about it. Yeah.
Scary place.
The vast majority is they meet people from their local area. That's it. They don't meet anybody else. They don't interact with anybody else. And now, he was saying, yeah, and now you've got this thing where you can go, and from your own house, you're meeting people from all over the country. And I was like, all over the world, really? He's like, yeah, all over the world. You can meet people from wherever and start talking to them.
Yes.
You know, and I was like, yeah, you know, and I was definitely you know, that's what the interaction between me and K-Rock and the initial meeting was definitely it was a flow. It was a flow. I whatever your beliefs are in terms of past lives or past realities, and I do believe that certain people are meant. I definitely think that we have all met at some point before and experienced
part
it
of the
before.
agreement.
And I think we will again, you know, in some other experience. And I don't know what that experience will be yet, because I'm too limited to see it yet. But it's definitely out there. I think that
In there.
I think that despite the fact that K-Rock was born 600 and some odd miles to the northeast, it was more likely that we were going to meet during the course of my life than that we were not. We were. It was going to happen. So
Fascinating. Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
But the idea that I can definitely see. So then, T, do you think that the possibility of that the possibility is that the internet is disruptive more so to local friendships than it is to people because you can eliminate people from the internet pretty quickly, right? I mean, if you meet someone and you have access to all of their thoughts and all of their previous postings, and you can see, yeah, boy, this person posted this about the last election or about vaccines or about the space race or whatever, you can kind of cut that off before it even becomes a friendship. Yeah, right? But you can find that out about your next door neighbor too.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So what's your question?
So that it doesn't necessarily mean a shortening of friendships overall, because you could still meet someone on the internet that you know
I think it's
everything
quite
about.
the opposite.
Right. Tiga.
Bless you. Bless you.
Yeah.
And this is the curious part of all of it, which I guess it's
Isn't really
been
that
that way.
curious, but it's fascinating.
It's fascinating that it continues just at a different broadband. That you have access to people in your neighborhood. Who are the people in your neighborhood? And that's your limitations. Farm, village, neighborhood, city. Now your algorithm, and it always has come down to the realization that, one, you're not alone. There are there needs to be others of like mind that you will relate to. Where they exist is now obsolete because everyone exists all over the planet. I guess that's my point. And in that same thing, though, because the internet is so new, everybody, there's a good chance that the individual, just like in a conversation that you would have at your local market, is limiting your access to their true brainwave algorithm. So, you know what I mean? And so as you gain access to other people of like mind, you are also gaining access to those, to another umbrella of people that are shielding themselves and existing in a location that they don't actually live.
Yeah, I think that's just what.
It's always been that way, maybe. You know what I mean? But I think that as a gambling man, your odds are fucking better than ever. I think.
Yeah, which is why I was intrigued by the posting of. And sure, it was just an individual, but the posting of a 30-something saying, "Hey, we've been friends for 11 years. You don't see that." Yeah, it seemed weird. Like, really, do you not see that? Because I tend to think, like what you were just describing, you would see that more often. That the people that would be weeded out quicker, and that the people that you would attune to would be more solidified.
We're in the in-between era, though.
Yeah, that's true.
All things are so new. You know, we fear change. What movie is that? 2000 Big Room Bucks.
We fear change.
We fear change. Yes, indeed. It was told to. I'll give one hint. Noah's Arcade.
Doesn't help me. BB, you got any guesses?
Yeah,
Anybody out there? Anybody out there?
I've heard it.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, it's
A former SNL actor said it while wearing a wig, blonde wig. We fear change.
Oh, okay. Wait.
Noah's
Is
Arcade.
it Will Smith? Will
No.
Smith was never on set.
not Will Arquette, not Will.
it's
Not Elf.
from
William Dafoe. Dafoe.
the person who says it is Dana Carvey, right?
Correct.
Yo,
Goes to
yeah.
you. It is Wayne's World.
Yep.
He says it to
Mike
Mike Myers, but wait, he says
Myers'
it.
character. Yeah.
No, he doesn't say it to Mike Myers' character. He says it to
Oh, one of the gang. One of the
No,
guys.
no. He says it to
oh, what tells his name?
Rob Lowe.
Oh, Rob Lowe.
Lowe.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, dude. I couldn't get St. Elmo's Fire out of my head. I was like, he says it to
Rob
St. Elmo's
Lowe.
Fire. That's not his name. St. Elmo's Fire. Played a saxophone. Completely different character.
Yeah, someone fine.
We fear change.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
speaking of movies, though, Blade Runner 2049. Again, to bring this full circle,
I gotta watch
this
that.
movie is so good because it explores what it is to be human.
Right.
Right.
You know, and it does so on multiple
Memory.
levels. I mean, the first one was great. Blade Runner, the first one was great. This one, I mean, 2049, not often is a sequel better, and I don't want to say it's better,
Yeah.
but it's equally as good, and but it explores this what it is to be human, and it takes you to the very end, and it challenges you multiple times. So there's this like aspect of like it's like this aspect of discovery, like it's a drama, and you know, and you don't like a kind of a whodunit. And it's not gory, you know, but there's violence, but it's not gory. But the violence that exists is, again, there's people that are in control that want to stay in control, and there's a power play that's going on, and it's just there's so many levels to this movie. I really think
It's a
masterpiece level cinema. Really,
it's difficult to find many movies of this nature where you've got this nature on that, this on the other thing, but where you've got the original was at the time, and when it came out, you know, it started to explore those.
Explore. That's the key word.
Yeah,
but you said it was what
ahead of
when
its
it came
time.
out.
Ahead of its
Ahead
time.
of its time, yeah. It was definitely groundbreaking, and
Dealing
Yeah,
with topics
Rutger Hauer
that
and-
haven't come to a cultural standpoint that were apparently inevitable. You know,
Yeah, and Rutger Hauer-
and both are getting to the point of Rutger Hauer.
Rutger Hauer's speech.
It's
Oh.
still in. I like if you look at categories like that's still rated.
Oh yeah.
Most
Oh yeah.
Powerful fucking monologue.
Yeah, when he's talking about his memories, and do they in some way not exist anymore? Did they just disappear like tears in the rain? You know, the tears in the rain line. Brilliant. And then I was very hesitant about the sequel because I'm very suspicious about
That actor.
that actor. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
suspicious as well.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Rutger Hauer,
Oh, no.
the
What's the other
driver,
Yeah,
the
what's his name?
Notebook.
Noah. No.
I don't. Crap. I can't remember.
Something with a G.
Fuck.
Ali G.
Yeah, that's it. That's biology. Ryan Gosling.
Ryan
There it is,
Gosling.
G.
That's it.
Gosling,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm very
It was-
suspicious of him.
I knew it was
And Jared
I knew it
Leto's
was a
freaking
Darkwing Duck
weirdo, too.
reference.
Jared Leto, I can get on board with. I don't question him. I know he's an interesting individual.
Yeah,
I know.
he is. Yeah,
I know
Oh,
he's a very creative sort. Ryan Gosling, I have questions about. Like, he's okay. I've seen him in a few roles, and he's maybe chuckle. He was in that other role with Russell Crowe. I can't remember what it was, The Good Guys or something. It was a funny '70s takeoff movie. He was funny, but I've watched him in interviews, and I go with my gut on a lot of people. I'm usually right. Like, I usually get a feeling of hello. I'm usually get a feeling of whether this person is good or worth it or on board or something.
Mhm.
And he gives me question marks, man. Like, I like to look at his eyes, and he's always done it. He's always given me question marks about there's something
Something gonna happen behind. Like he's
Yes.
gonna have something's gonna come out.
Yeah, there's something going on that is not evident to the public. Look at him. Look at that picture.
It's
at
very
that
American
picture right
Psycho, right?
Yes, there's a problem with this guy.
Yeah, he's
Hey,
not.
look
He's
at
not
him.
present.
He is not. But I'm simply
He's a little
not-
sociopathic.
And while I may shake your hand in my hand,
By the
may-
way, that Mackenzie Davis. Oh, that's right. She was in that movie.
yeah, and
Yeah,
well,
I met her. She was on a film I worked on that Christmas movie.
and while I may shake your hand, and you may feel the warmth flowing through my body, and may think that we have very similar experiences based on our life, the truth of the matter is that I am simply not there.
Not there.
And that's what this guy is. Look at every fucking photo. Look at the one where he's
Dead eyes.
smiling. Look at the one where he's smiling in the upper left. Second from the upper left. Upper left. Your other left. There you go. Look at his eyes. There's no fucking difference in those eyes. It's only his mouth that is moved. He's changed the angle of his mouth,
Dead eyes.
and that's it.
Dead
I
eyes.
mean,
That's it.
perfect casting for a robot or a questionable
Yeah, but
robot
he
or
doesn't-
somebody who
Good
questions
point.
He has
whether
no
they're a
idea.
robot
Good
or
point,
whether they're
Ad-Hoc.
human.
Yeah.
But look
That's
at
a
him.
good
Look at any of them. Click on any of
Look
these.
at
Look at
any
that
of them.
photo. Look at that photo. He's fucking with a fucking like up there. Look at that. Look, every
That's the
fucking
most human
photo.
right there on the far right, actually. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he has a lot of fear issues as well and ego issues.
It could be. I'm telling you this,
Miscommunication. I can relate, but nevertheless, yeah, maybe that's why it was such good casting, I suppose. And yeah, it is a brilliant movie. It asks a lot of questions. I remember watching that and feeling like I had solved only 20% of the questions that were newly arriving, but possibly had solved 90% of the ones I had in the past after watching that movie. It was great. It was great in that aspect.
Yeah, nice.
Here's somebody you never heard of her, but she did a great job. Like this is one of the when I was watching, I was thinking like this is somebody who's never been in American cinema. Maybe she's famous in France or something, because she's French, right? Or something. Like, what is she? Anna de Armas. I don't know. Where's she from? Let's check out her wiki.
Exactly. That's another good casting choice that you can't place her physical attributes.
Cuban Spanish actress. The Cuban Spanish actress. Cuban, really?
Mhm.
Cuban, but wait. Her home country of Cuba, leading role in the romantic drama. Okay, at 18, she moved to Madrid, Spain.
At 18.
But yeah, I mean, her accent, it's so bizarre. You can't place it.
Yeah, but
And
her physical attributes are very balanced and extended. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of, her physical attributes lend itself to the possibility of it being fake.
Right.
It's good casting.
It was,
Very,
yeah,
very narrow. The strong nose, just slightly fuller
Got
lips.
that film
Her
noir.
eyes are kind of larger. The cheekbones.
She's
She's almost anime.
You have this detective drama that takes place in Japan. Like all the setting of Blade Runner is very Japanese, Japanime, or oriented, purposefully futuristic in the sense of neon and high-rise buildings and flying cars and different levels over that. And you have all that, and then you have like this like, I don't know, and then but you have this film noir aspect to it too.
Mhm.
You have that detective character that is out. He's out. He's got to find people, and there's that whole detective aspect.
Watch
And
that again.
and so her look is like, right in that. I don't know. It's a really great movie.
It's a great movie. So, did you watch it for the first time recently, or are you rewatching it?
If you rewatched, yeah.
Rewatch. I saw it in the theater.
Oh,
So,
nice. Oh,
I don't even know. Like, let's see
I'd
when
love
it came
to see
out.
that on big screen. It's beautiful.
17, 16.
Speaking of beautiful and something from the
2016,
70s,
2017.
early 80s. Has anyone watched, and we discussed this before, the reboot of He-Man?
I have not watched it
No, it looks awesome though.
I just started. I
Nice.
watched the first episode and the second episode.
yet. I put it in my playlist right the day it came out because
Where is it?
It's on Netflix.
Oh my god, I totally got to see this, man.
Yeah, and
Kevin Smith is the showrunner.
right, and
that's great.
and that's what gave it merit to me.
Yeah, I told you about that.
Yes, we
weeks ago,
discussed
yeah.
it,
Yeah,
and I was still very skeptical.
yeah, skippable.
I'm still skeptical, like that old commercial said. Because to be honest with you, holding on to the animated series as the plot base was a setup for bullshit disaster,
Oh yeah.
as far as I was concerned. Well, they took that, and He-Man is not the main character.
Right. Okay.
At least not in the first two. In the first episode, it is this amazing recap
of the original series.
of the original series, but shown in new light and in a new angle. All of the toys come alive. A lot of the characters come into play, but they're not quite as cut and dry.
I'm totally
Pretty
in.
great. And then when the second episode comes into play, the lead character is nothing to do with it, is not He-Man.
Sure. Okay.
And it gets darker, and it gets into religious cults, and it's pretty fucking interesting.
Off to a good start.
Off to a good start. I don't know how many episodes. I didn't research that.
I don't think
But-
there's many. I think there's. I want to say 6 or 8. There's
Man,
His face got a Dolph Lundgren kind of reminiscence.
that is Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, really?
on the this
Yeah.
one, yeah, that is that's Dolph.
That's Dolph
There
Lundgren.
was yeah,
Dolph
there was a
Lundgren.
movie. There was a movie.
There was a movie. Yeah.
Okay. This is not Dolphin.
Yeah, no. Aw.
No, that's
That
sad.
poor Scandinavian, whoever he is.
But this is the new guy.
No,
No.
that's
So
That's-
it's
that's-
animated.
What am I looking at? I typed in He-Man movie 2021.
It's Masters of the Universe.
type in He-Man. Type in Masters of the Universe Revelations.
Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? You know what's one of the weird? I don't know what year that He-Man
All
movie
cartoon shit.
It's cartoon.
It's a cartoon.
Damn, Kevin Smith got skinny.
Yeah. He
Oh, he had a
changed his,
fucking heart
diet.
attack. Dude.
Oh, that's right. Heart attack.
He had a massive.
Yeah,
he,
and
had,
a
he, he had a widowmaker heart attack. Barely made it.
Wow.
It
You know,
is ad hoc. It is a cartoon. It is a
Yeah,
cartoon.
it's a cartoon on Netflix. The only thing, the one decision I think that they should have, Kevin should have worked with fucking Luke Skywalker a little
Mark
Hamill as the voice. He's the voice of Skeletor.
Right. Yeah.
I wish he would have worked with him a little more.
Is it too jokery or
Fuck yes, too jokery.
okay?
To those who know.
Right.
To those who know.
Yeah. Little known fact about He-Man in the
Mhm.
movie. I don't remember what year it came out, but obviously it was almost you could almost qualify it as a B-rate movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like it was. I think it was meant to be a big hit, but it just never had any of that. But Frank Langella played Skeletor.
Frank Langella.
Okay, Frank Langella, who's a pretty known actor.
Yeah, how do we know this name? It's a very popular name.
I think he played Dracula in the Dark Shadows,
There it is.
right? Back in the day.
Yeah, I don't think Dark
Good call on calling out
Shadows.
Frank
I think it was the movie.
Yeah, it could be the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, and he also was in Ninth Gate.
Yes, he was in the ninth Gate with Johnny Depp.
Yeah, he was Dracula in the movie Dracula in the late
Yeah, he's been in a
70s,
ton
early
of
80s. There
shit.
he is.
Yeah.
Man,
He's been in a ton.
he played Skeletor? Holy
He played
shit.
Skeletor.
Whoa, and
and-
he was with Susan Sarandon?
It looks like it.
Good for
But
him.
yeah, he played
There it is.
Skeletor
Wow.
and
Yeah.
was nominated for an Academy Award for it.
Wow.
Wait, what? That just goes to show you that the Academy is just like, you know what? We have to pay our dues to this guy.
Right?
Oh, that's his project this year? Fuck, he has what? Terminal what? All right, we got to give it to him this year.
Right? But I don't think he won it. I don't remember if he won it.
Fascinating.
I don't. He definitely didn't win it for Skeletor. There's no fucking way. Hold on, though. We'll check though. We can check.
Yeah, you gotta verify that because I remember the Academy Awards that year and thinking, holy shit, Frank Langella is nominated for Skeletor. They are going to say Frank Langella nominated for his performance as Skeletor.
That's awesome.
You know, Frank Langella, I think there was a movie about maybe it was a Focus feature.
Man, check him out over there with
Oh,
freaking
I was like,
Bernadette.
Bernadette Peters.
oh man,
Such
Yeah.
a beautiful soul she was, and I
Mhm.
love her.
Amazing voice.
And that dude in the middle is
So cool.
from
Oh.
Fringe.
In the middle?
The bald guy in the middle there.
Yeah, I
He's
don't remember him.
in the show. Fringe.
I don't remember him from
I
the
don't know.
refrigerator. But Frasier, I remember. Brother. But anyway, I think there was a movie where Frank Langella was aging and it was set in the future, and he had an AI robot as his assistant, caretaker, given to him from his daughter, and he actually was a retired thief, like a jewel thief.
Okay.
And he ends up training the AI robot servant to assist him in a last heist.
I don't know it.
It was very interesting. Jafar and I rented it and or downloaded it. It was around that time.
Oh my God, there's too many awards. It's not helpful for me to find.
A lot of awards for this guy. Eh? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I mean, it shows like what he was nominated for, and then
Hey, I gotta have it tomorrow, so I have to shut down my tonight.
tomorrow's another day.
Same for
Yeah,
the
all right,
movie.
guys. Yeah, that works for me. We
There
still
it
got
is,
a couple
Ninth
weeks.
Gate. Robot and Frank. That's it.
Robot and Frank, nice. We still got a couple of weeks to sort out birthday gatherings and whatnot.
Yeah. Yes. Please reach out to Jafar directly, and let's make that happen.
That would be awesome if we could connect on. We're both going to be out that day for somehow. Like, where are the
you
kids
guys.
at?
Yeah, you guys are going to be. I don't see
Drinking.
happening on that
Wait,
same day. to be
Hold on a
honest with
second.
you.
That's also your anniversary weekend, correct?
Yeah. Well, our anniversary is the 13th. And
And
her
day is this?
birthday is the 8th.
Okay.
Okay. So,
And what day is the beer fest?
14th.
14th.
Okay. 8th, 13th, 14th. So she's going out on the 14th, which is a Saturday.
The 7th of August.
You guys must be ditching the kids off to the grand folks. So
Yeah.
you're both free.
Yeah.
She's going out with her friends. What are you doing on
I'm
beer fest day?
going to not
Come
go to
on.
beer
Come
fest.
on. You got
I'm not
beer
going to beer
fest?
fest. No, I'm going to be with Rebecca, to an extent, but I'm not going to beer fest.
That's why you both need to come to beer fest.
Right. The 7th of
Right.
August.
Am I right?
The 7th
Well,
of
look,
August,
you need to
Black
convince
Cat
her to
Moon
get
is
here.
playing at an amazing music festival in Millvale.
Oh,
If
yeah,
you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
want to come out and spend the day at a music festival.
Yeah, that would be really fun.
Yeah,
you know.
K-Rock and I are looking at that.
That
Her
would be
friends from Massachusetts are coming in.
Oh man, there's so much good music. There's
Yeah.
like seven or eight
not just
stages.
music. There's
Oh, there's word of
there's
mouth.
Oh,
comedy.
comedians.
There's a whole day of
food.
comedy in
Magic.
the schedules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Millvale Music Festival is more than
insane.
music.
That festival is crazy looking. Like I can't believe the amount of entertainment they packed in one day. Like I'm like seriously, as somebody who knows how to stage manage bands on and off
Yeah.
stage, I'm like, you're
Overextended.
how are you gonna pull this off? Yeah,
Yeah.
like seriously, like it's a train wreck waiting to happen. I hate to say that, and I don't want to jinx anything.
But they've done this like at least
Several
twice
years
before,
now.
right?
Yeah.
It is at least the third annual.
And I mean,
They've had a
Blessings
train wreck
to
every
them.
year.
no, blessings to them. But because you survive it one year doesn't mean you should repeat it. There should be some type of adjustment. You know what I mean? And like their time frames on this is literally allowing no window for error. And it's
That's why you only bring in the best.
if this was the first
And that's why we have a
year-
main stage. We're main staging.
Bro, if this was year one, I could understand that schedule. I looked at their schedule and I'm like,
It's
literally, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Thank goodness I am only an entertainer and not
Yeah, they got bands on at the top of every hour, basically, with
Yeah.
45-minute set lists. So you have a 15-minute crossover to get the prior band off and the new band on in 15 minutes. There is no sound check. There is everybody's using the same back line, which means you got to use the same drum kit, you got to use the same bass amplifier, and probably the same guitar amp. I mean, that's the reality. Like you ain't bringing shit here except for your stick, your guitar, your bass, and your microphone, and that's it. Like, but 15 minutes, and not only that happens 15 times in one day. I mean, more than that. It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous.
Come on and see the ludicrous.
I want to go just to see this thing. I mean, it's going to be awesome.
I just want to see this thing fall apart.
But anyway, that's the weekend before. That's Birth Jafar celebration proper.
Right.
You know, the 8th is actually a Sunday.
Yeah, but
which
the
might
day
be kind of nice, actually.
The beer fest day. I mean, yeah, that's good for you guys.
Wait. Let's jump back. So, the Zenith, which is they do Sunday brunches.
Oh.
And it's the best buffet restaurant in Pittsburgh.
If you're vegan.
Where's that?
Oh, it's in the South Side. It's in the South Side.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's all one
Can
level.
I get in?
What's that?
Can
Yeah,
you
it's
get
all
in?
one level. Except when you get into the second dining room. It's all one level.
It's brunch, so he's not going to be awake.
It's between 11 and 1.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Yeah, you'd have to plan for it. But
It would be.
But nevertheless, that's man, you got to do that for yourself regardless. You could do takeout during the week. But
what's the name of the place?
The Zenith.
The Zenith. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody I don't get it. What's so special? Like, you've had eggs, you've had French toast, you've had pancakes. What else could there be? Bacon? I mean,
dude, this isn't American cuisine, and it's not limited to that simple of a mindset. So, like, yeah, they do have French toast. Yeah, they do have pancakes, which are all vegan, by the way, which is ridiculous. But they have a bunch of different dishes, including like vegan egg chicken salad sandwiches, egg salad sandwiches, which have no egg. Incredible. Was it a lot of like all these meat-based kind of things that are not meat? Pulled pork, crazy like Mexican wraps, Indian food, all kind of stuff. It changes. The menu changes every week. But the thing is, like, they have a menu. They have a menu, and then they have the side buffet, which is like grape leaves, and green beans that are Thai, green beans that are spicy, and like this fucking potato salad that I can't put my finger on how the hell they do it. It's kind of like cilantro and mint. Like, it's nuts. Oh, it's so fucking good. Oh, it's so good. And it's back. And their desserts are like 10 to 12 different bundt cakes, which are all vegan as well. And it's like mint tulip. It's strawberry chocolate. It's apple. It's poppy seed. It's fucking ridiculous. I don't know how they pull it off for $12. And it's now back.
$12 for
and
all that.
Yes. And there you get tea, coffee, or water, is all built into that. Unlimited.
I mean, it definitely sounds like more of a culinary experience than
and brunch. It's built into the location. The front of it is a secondhand store. So
I've seen pictures. I'm like,
you walk into like this like cacophony of like old record players and polyester mannequins and beads and Robert redesigns it every month, so it's like shit hanging from the ceiling, sculptures and chairs, like it's just like an assault. And then you walk through that to the maitre d' or whatever, and then you go into the hodgepodge living room or dining room.
Sounds a little weird for me, but I think it's right up BB's alley.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it.
Yeah, maybe weird is relevant to those people that can't handle difference. But
That's me.
and I think both of you can see this. But just as far as maneuvering it, you can maneuver it.
Right.
But call in advance. But anyway, that would be the 8th proper getting together on a Sunday.
On a Sunday. Right.
Well, I mean,
It doesn't have to
understand
be
the value
there.
of the 8th.
That's what I'm saying. But man, that would blow her mind. But the 8th proper, maybe that's a possibility. Probably her mom wants to see her as well.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying that we're already going to Beer Fest, and she's already planning on going to karaoke after Beer Fest. Now, what time does Beer Fest start?
I don't see you guys doing shit after Beer Fest, man.
Oh,
Like you guys are gonna be fucked the fuck up.
there's a good likelihood that we're going to be F to F up, but it's karaoke.
7 hours.
No. It's not 7 hours. It's 4 hours.
10 hours.
4 hours
17
is
hours.
still
4 hours.
ridiculously
Oh.
long time.
Yeah,
That's a long time, but
6:30 to 10:30.
Actually, we're coming up on 4 hours for this thing right now. And
which is like nothing.
I had to switch to beer, but I did. Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
it's
you're not gonna be.
My
switching to
point
water there.
is maybe don't overextend yourselves.
we don't need to be there the full 4 hours. Actually, I mean, we can. We'll do what we do.
I'm gonna be there the whole 4 hours.
Because you're, come on, really?
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Much love. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the big room. Every thousands of you, please tell the next 1,000 friends that you have.
Yeah, I
To
mean,
return every Wednesday from 9 to 11. You don't have to wear pants.
no, you
You
don't.
really don't.
And you don't have to
but
hang
you
around
do
for the
have to
after
ask-
hours. Although it's possibly
Do
the
question
best
what you're
part.
drinking, because stay hydrated and
Yep.
stay inebriated, and stay changing yourself from whoever you used to be into Joe Rogan that you are meant.
And if you're watching this in the future,
Which you
then
are.
that's pretty awesome. Congratulations for living in the future.
Oh, robots.
Be
Great.
safe, all, and we'll see you in a week's time.
Now go fuck
Blade
off.
Runner 2049, still probably a good movie. Still watch it, even if you're.
What are you doing here? Go home.
I'm scarred for life, but I'm set for life, and I'm set for life, but I'm scarred for life, and I'm coming at you. I'm fucking crazy. I'm fucking psycho, fucking insane. That's the fucking chorus right there.
You nailed it,
That is
dude. You
good.
nailed it. You nailed it. And you visually transformed into fucking Joe Rogan. There,
You
dude.
did.
You fucking,
Oh, Joe Rogan. Yeah.
yeah, you did. You visually transformed
That's
into Joe Rogan. It was amazing.